The goal, the goal, the goal, the goal. Lose your soul, your soul, your soul.
Well, fancy seeing you here, gearheads. Welcome to a special Monday night presentation of the Blind Mike Project. And don't worry your pretty little heads, there will be talk of Stuttering John, Steel Toe, Brendan Schaub, and even David Collins and Lady K discussing Bill Maher. Make sure you go to blindmike.net for all things Blind Mike. So strap your helmets on, you special people, and I do mean football helmets, and put your hands together for your host, Blind Mike Geary.
Hey now. I don't know how I feel about Lady K getting a shout out in our intro. I have to see that bastard later. I don't get enough of him already. We are doing a crossover, me and Carl. So I'm doing this show for the next who knows how long, and then hopping over to Patreon and for our YouTube members, doing a crossover episode with the dreaded Lady K, that queer, that pole smoker. So look for that tonight, folks. If you're a member on Patreon or YouTube, keep your eyes peeled for that. But we are here today. It's me and Casey Day. What's up, buddy?
Heyo, how's everyone?
Electra's here as well.
Yes, she is.
I don't know if she's awake or not, but she is. I don't know if she's physically here. I don't know if she's mentally here, but
Barely
you
awake.
You awake, sleepyhead?
atta girl. Yes. Hello, everybody. So yeah, we did the. I won't call it an emergency show, but whatever that was yesterday. I've backed myself into a corner. It is. You got to give people like Carl this. It is so much easier to call it an emergency show because it's a show we weren't supposed to do. What else do you call it? An accidental show. I don't know. Whatever
We tripped and fell and did a show.
Yeah. There is news with that, by the way, a follow-up that we'll get to later in the program. We'll be talking about Steel Toe later. We'll save that for the end because there's some other stuff I want to get to, like Tony Hinchcliffe and Brendan Schaub and all these other fun things we have planned for you today. So if you're here for Steel Toe, stick around or pop back in later, whatever, because we will get to it. But also, I want to tell you to go to blindmike.net. That's where you can subscribe. I mentioned that members-only content. You can become a member for as little as $5 a month. You get stuff like we're doing tonight with Carl, where we break down Julia Fox's book. And I listened to it earlier. It's amazing that a human being... Are you a big reader, Casey Day?
I am.
Do you read like biographies or autobiographies at all? Nonfiction?
No, mostly fiction, aliens and stuff like that.
Because I'm very curious, and I'll mention it with Carl later, and I've mentioned it before, but it's strange. Julia Fox writes her autobiography in a way where she's 10 years old, and she's like, I said this, and then Rose said this. Like, they're quotes. She remembers verbatim every conversation she had when she was a child. It's magnificent to read because you're like, inherently, this has to be bullshit. There's no way this could be true because I don't remember yesterday that well. If you asked me to recap a conversation we had on the show yesterday, I couldn't do it with that vivid imagination.
Yeah, that's what Joseph Campbell called the power of myth, Mike. It's like we create this story of our life that we link these little things that we could remember to. It's not the real story. It's just the things that we can remember, and that's our life.
Right.
But it's all bullshit.
Memory of the memory, yeah.
Yes, it's just what you can remember.
But yeah, go to blindmike.net. We'll be doing that with Carl later tonight, about 8 o'clock tonight. So if you want to watch that, hop on the members only side of things, or just support the show for free wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Also at blindmike.net. The links for not just this show, but Why Are You Laughing and Who Are These Socials are all there. So if you're looking for links for that, go to blindmike.net. I was just working on a Martin Mull Why Are You Laughing today. So that'll be coming soon for you people. And don't forget Why Are You Laughing is back. Catch up. A couple episodes already out. The Opie and Anthony episode will be up this week. Beginner's Guide, the history of Opie and Anthony. So check all those out. We appreciate it. And also, before we get into things today, go to HackRideTheDemon.com. I understand you were not taken down, finally, by SiriusXM.
Yeah, we did a unboxing Eric episode 12 last night. Thank you so much, DJ Electra. You were awesome. And yeah, it didn't get taken down. Usually does. Which means we just didn't have a good enough sample in there that's been in a Sirius video. So maybe next week. Maybe they'll get us next week.
Guys, keep watching to see if their episodes get taken down.
It's very fun. Or the channel, because at any point, the Sirius could wake up and just zap the whole channel. They're
be like collector's item. Like Casey Day and Electra go live, but did they really? Because it's never up the next day.
You ever see, well, I'm sorry about this, but there's these videos online where people are like walking on the top of buildings and you kind of, your heart races a little because you're like, oh my God, that's us in YouTube. Yeah. We're just walking along the edge playing this stuff because any day, we have 5 or 6 right now where they could just snap their finger and bye-bye, we're welcome to Rumble.
So go check that out. Subscribe to DJ Electra's YouTube channel, DJ Electra Fry. I told her, I messaged Electra today because I just randomly came across one of her YouTube shorts where she was talking about that Jane's addiction story, which typically I wouldn't give a fuck about, but she summarized it in a very nice way that someone it's palatable for someone like me. I think that's a good format for you, Electra. You got a good voice for it.
Thank you so much.
You got a lane.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Take the lane.
Check all that stuff out. All right. Is that enough of that? Can we finally get into some content here?
Well, one more thing is make sure you click on the link in the chat there, and that will turn on your gifted subs. Make sure it is, honestly, people, he doesn't pay me, so honestly I can say this. It's one of the best memberships on the internet. You get so much shit. So get a membership, gift a membership. You know, we like to give around here. Right?
Oh, and if you want Casey Day to get paid, the goal today is $33,000.
Yes.
Let's hit it.
I don't want your money.
Let's hit it, and it'll get $40 out of that.
I do like when you show up to our page, though. That's very nice of you. You're supporting what may be a dead ship, and I appreciate that.
It's my pleasure.
Dead man walking. You're giving pennies to it. It's amazing.
Real quick before we get into the other stuff, I did mention that dastardly Lady K, and I was worried we were going to lose David Collins to him because I invited him on, and he said no. He said, no, I'm not going to come on. And by the way, on a totally different day, I'm doing Who Are These Podcasts? He used that as the excuse to not come on the show, even though it was a week later. But I was like, all right, so maybe we're losing David Collins. But then I did check out his appearance on Who Are These Podcasts? Our boy David did very well, I thought. He's very funny, as always. But he did get a reference in that I appreciated because Lady K had him do some man on the street stuff, I guess. And David tried to figure out if anyone at Louis J. Gomez's comedy show knew Who Are These Podcasts. So let's just hear that real quick.
Absolutely. Just pulling it up right now. Yeah, so this is outside of a club, and he's just talking to randos. Here we go.
You watch Who Are the Podcasts?
Carl
Hamburger.
Not familiar.
Okay. Are you familiar with the show Who Are the Podcasts?
Which ones?
With Carl Hamburger.
No.
Oh, anyway, well, he has a former relationship with Louis J. Gomez. Do you know Blind Mike Geary?
Yes.
Of the Blind Mike Project.
Of course.
I wonder if we're running into anybody here that even knows WAT.
Wow. How?
So I appreciated that. Thank you, David. He edited that very nicely.
That's amazing.
I do think part of the problem was that he kept saying, "Who are the podcasts?"
Well, I think that's part of the
Wrong
magic,
name.
actually. It's part of the David magic.
No, so I appreciate that we haven't lost David. Thank God. He's still Team Blind Mike.
Yeah, we'll never lose him. He'll never get 10 feet away from that toilet. Well, Jan will chase him down wherever he goes.
Whatever that means. Good.
Those who know, know.
Unfortunately, I do know. That's what's upsetting me. All right, let's get into some real news. Enough nonsense. Enough jerking each other around here. Let's get into some real news. And by that, I mean stuff that's about 3 weeks old. But I just found it on the Kill Tony subreddit the other day. Because I don't know. I don't listen to Tim Heidecker's podcast. I don't know how many people do. But apparently he does one. And this was just on the Kill Tony subreddit the other day. And I found it very interesting. So this is Tim Heidecker on what's his podcast called? One Last something or other, whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
Jane Marie and Carmen Christopher is what it's listed.
Those
up
are
here.
his
I don't know.
co-hosts, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. All right, here we go.
I think his stand-up is really funny. I haven't
The pounding.
seen him do stand-up in a while.
No, it'd be interesting to hear him come in with some new material. He was telling me it's like the landscape has changed so much. When you're a big Tony Hinchcliffe fan? You
No,
like that
I
shit?
don't even. People talk about this guy.
Dude,
I don't even know who the fuck this
he's
guy
the
is.
GOAT.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Dude,
Is he the Kill Tony guy?
Yeah, man, he's the fucking GOAT. Like, nobody.
Oh, here's what's going on here, and I think it's interesting. I bet you're a Tim Heidecker fan, right, Casey? I assume.
I love everything he writes. I hate everything he improvs. I think it's one of the comedy specials you should review. His stand-up comedy special.
Interesting.
I'd pay $1,000 to watch you review that thing. It's crazy.
Okay,
and
maybe
bizarre.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
So what I find interesting here is like, I don't think Tim Heidecker's necessarily being wrong in some of his critiques of Tony Hinchcliffe. It's inherently wrong, I guess, because he's going into it half-assed. He doesn't know anything about the show or Tony Hinchcliffe, it seems. But he makes some points that I think a lot of like Tony's critics might agree with, at least in a sense. But what's happening here is it just reeks of jealousy.
Oh yeah.
This is where it's I think worth criticizing this clip is that Tim Heidecker is coming off as just a guy who's jealous at Tony Hinchcliffe's success because he doesn't even really know what the show is, as you're about to hear.
He also like goes after anything like pop culture that anyone likes. That's
Yes.
sort of his thing. So
Right,
if you like
yeah.
it, he's gonna shit on it and make some weird. I mean, but his written stuff, Mike, is amazing. But yes, he's a bizarre man.
Well, that's what I find interesting about those guys is like they do make good points satirically often. Like guys like Tim and Eric. I like some of what those guys do, but I hate when it just comes off reeking of jealousy. It's kind of like what we talked about with Mark Maron a few weeks ago, where like in the context of Busting Balls with Bobby Lee, it sounds better. It just sounds like a comedian talking. Whereas when Maron's just ranting on his Instagram, he sounds psychotic. And this is similar in the sense that like it just sounds very petty where he goes with this Kill Tony criticism.
Tony guy?
Yeah, man, he's the fucking GOAT. Like, nobody ruins people better than him. Like with his insult comedy, you're done.
It's
like,
crazy.
You should try going up against Tony Hinchcliffe and see how ruined you get.
I would rather fight him than try to do comedy with, just because I don't know who this guy is. Every time we go on tour, somebody will be like, "Oh, you're a comedian. Do you watch Kill Tony?" I'm like, "I've never seen Kill Tony."
We should find a dumb clip of him.
I would love to.
Then
find
it's
a clip
definitely
of
worth
him.
criticizing. We haven't done 1 second of looking into this guy, so he must fucking suck. Like that to me, I think is a weird instinct, especially as a guy that does something as bizarre as like Tim Heidecker does. Someone that's in the world of doing something weird to not even check it out before you criticize. I know that's the other guy saying he doesn't know who the fuck Tony is, but like for either of them, clearly they don't know the product he's putting out. And again, I might agree with some of the things they have to say, but it just comes off as super jealous because comedy fans no one says Tony Hinchcliffe is the GOAT. I don't think there's a genuine, even like Kill Tony fans, I don't think anyone says Tony Hinchcliffe is the greatest stand-up of all time. I've never met anyone that thinks that. So I don't know like where this is coming from other than just being mad. I'm sure he hates Rogan politically in that world. And so it seems more like he doesn't like the way these guys vote, and he doesn't like that they're as successful as they are.
I think it actually is a little something more fundamental. I think he's having an argument with his brand of comedy versus their brand of comedy. He thinks he's, and I would agree with a lot of it. He thinks he's better and funnier than them, and their comedy is easy. And just like every stand-up thinks every other stand-up is doing hack shit, he's a comedian thinking they're doing hack shit, but he sits in this realm of surreal comedy where like I can sit above comedy and I can process it different than the people in it, like the Joe Rogans and these guys, and so I can make judgments on them. I think it's more comedy versus comedy than individually based because
I'll tell you, I don't love that either though, and it's the one thing I have a lot of criticisms of Jerry Seinfeld's comedy philosophy. But the one thing I always give him credit for is like Seinfeld works very clean. But like some of his best friends in comedy are like Chris Rock and Colin Quinn, like guys that are entirely different than him, like just a totally different world than Jerry exists in. And he would produce a lot of like Colin Quinn's stuff that you'd be surprised someone like Seinfeld might put their name on because it's dirtier, it's more controversial. But Seinfeld just looks at it as it's comedy. Funny is funny, whether it's my style or not. Like, funny is funny, and I think this comes off as a much snobbier approach to comedy that I'm surprised someone like Tim Heidecker has. When you look at what Tim and Eric did, that would also be very easy to criticize and just on the surface and be like, oh, well, this is just hipster horse shit. Like, if you don't give it a try, it's easy to just on paper be like, well, this is probably dumb.
Well, I think that's what happened. There was so much criticism. He's like, we made it through the fire. Like, they have this view of like a stand-up or just a regular comedian is like not quite as talented. You know, I'm Robin Williams. You're just doing stand-up. That's what Tim Heidecker thinks right here. And yes, it is. Yeah,
you blew it.
These like he's like a Rogan, emissary.
I guess I've learned that, but I'm just like,
they worship him.
But does he do comedy or does he just make fun of
Yeah, he's
people?
like this is him. He'll be like he talks like this, but he's not gay. I don't think. I don't know.
This is all
whether
correct
he is
so
or
far.
not. But he's like, you're
Fine
you're-
either way.
Your headphones are so blue. They're like your blue balls. It's like they're like your blue
Hold
balls.
on. This is fair. He has summarized it kind of like, now again, I do think Tony has some funnier comebacks than that, but there are moments where that could be a legitimate line on Kill Tony.
Because you don't fuck.
And so,
because you can't make girls come.
who's he saying this to?
Like other people, friends.
Who would listen to this?
And he'll have comedians on.
And this guy's got 50 million fans.
Oh, these arenas. It's like, remember when that band Kiss was popular?
Yeah.
And you're like, why are they so popular? They're so bad. They're making bad music. They look like fools with their dumb makeup on. But they've got arenas full of dodos.
It's like marketing.
Loving him.
You just know you gotta
Marketing.
aim for the 12-year-old boy market. Sorry, guys. I know you've all been there, but
Sure.
yeah.
No, it's-
Well,
that's why
I
those
was into
people
Kiss when I was
exist.
like 7.
Yeah.
And then you kind of wise up.
Yeah.
And you hear real music.
It's such an interesting, like, sweeping under the rug what Tony has done, because again, I don't think Tony's the most talented stand-up out there or anything, but you do have to respect what he's built in that it was an underground thing for a long time. Like, it's within the last few years really skyrocketed, but it was just another like moderately successful podcast for a lot of years. And before that, it was nothing. Like, the early years of Kill Tony, no one knew what the fuck it was. It was just underground, essentially. So to just kind of shit on that and give it zero respect without really knowing what it is, just under the guise of like, oh, this is a Rogan guy, so they're not funny. It's like what Tony has built, and a lot of it is like, again, I think you can absolutely shit on products that have come out of Kill Tony. I don't think it's necessarily the best crop of young comedians is who's being highlighted on that show. But to just be like, oh, it's for retards, that's just not true. And I think it becomes kind of like hack and cliche in its own right to just, when something gets successful and now it has millions of views, be like, well, it must suck then,
Yeah, haters gonna hate. I think that's what this comes down to. He's just, he has a ceiling with the surreal comedy that didn't allow him to get into Madison Square Garden with Tim and Eric. They did a lot of shows, a lot of live shows in theaters, not Madison Square Garden. So I'm sure there's something to that.
There's an interesting thing to a lot of counterculture guys, because I always go back to Stern with it, where Stern would shit on the industry so much and yet really wanted to be a part of it. And I think you see a little of that here from not exactly the same, but in the sense that like Tim Heidecker is shitting on the industry. It's like, oh, anything that's popular fucking sucks. But really what he's saying is, why aren't we that popular? And it's like, I don't know. I've heard a little bit of his podcast and it's like, I think there's a reason it's probably not super successful,
It's a hard listen. I've said it before, and I'm a huge fan. There's multiple samples being played all the time under what he's saying, and none of it goes together. It's jazz, but the bad kind.
Yeah. I just think there is a difference, and we criticize a lot of shit. So I'm not saying Tim Heidecker. If I'm allowed to criticize shit, Tim Heidecker is certainly allowed to. But where it becomes disingenuous to me is like, we'll play clips and break stuff down. Tim Heidecker is just kind of going like, oh, that's successful. I guess he fucking saw. He's a hack. And that's to me where it reeks of jealousy more than any actual opinion.
Which is crazy because he made Tom Goes to the Mayor, which is maybe the funniest cartoon ever. So it's like someone with that cachet. It's like Larry David getting mad at an open mic comic. That's really the level of, as far as comedy minds in my head. Like, why are you even bothering with a Kill Tony? Who cares about Kill Tony?
Yeah, that's why this Heidecker clip or like certain things Marin says stand out to me because it sounds like petty open mic stuff. It sounds like stuff you would hear at an open mic where it's like, man, fucking, I can't believe fucking, pick a name. Matt Rife is a good one right now, where it's like, I can't fucking believe Matt Rife's so successful when I put so much work into my craft. It's like, well, Matt Rife has worked pretty hard also, write better jokes and do better crowd work, I guess, and maybe you'll be Matt Rife. But it's surprising. Like that's very natural for an open micer and naive of them. It seems shittier to me when it's someone that's had the success that Tim Heidecker's had. But
I come from the music world, and that's why the comedy world's so special because they are so like high school with it. Like if someone does better than you, you just go back in and write another song. You just take another stab at it. In the comedy world, they're like, "Oh, that bastard, he got my spot." It's a very like zero-sum game over there. That's why it's fun. They're all depressed.
But yeah, I like when guys like that talk shit if they're willing to back it up. Like, go on Kill Tony and make fun of it or have Tony Hinchcliffe on or something. Like, if you're willing to do something to back that up, then I'm all in. Then that's great. But it's like I've noticed being on the Kirk Minahan show, like when it started, Kirk would get into sort of like political or cultural arguments with people and invite them on the show. And they'd be like, oh, Barstool Sports, I'm never going on there. Or, oh, you just so you guys can shit on me. Like, they don't want to have the argument. And it's like, well, that's the coward's way out. What you're actually doing is proving that you have no validity in your point. Like, you don't actually believe in what you're saying. You don't think you could argue with someone. Whereas the person that's inviting you on is actually coming from the correct perspective of, well, show me why you're right, And I get the sense Tim Heidecker wouldn't do that. Because it feels that's what feels shitty to me is like, it's just shitting on it because Rogan is adjacent to it,
Yeah, that doesn't seem fair. That's, and the thing is, dude, Hinchcliffe deserves shots. He deserves shots, but that one seems...
Sure. Well, we talked about him last week, where it's like, why is he being like that? And like, again, the criticism of some of Tony's like roast jokes or whatever being, shitty to some of the bucket pulls. That I get, but just being like, why is this successful seems petty to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Sound off in the comments. How about that?
Electra, you there? We have one super chat. Want to read real quick if Electra is near. If not, and I'll give you 3 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Oh, look, she's there. All right. All right.
Where does she go? She just hides. We never know if she's there or not.
All right, Chef Lewis for $1.99. Tony is a bum. Mike told me so.
No. That's not what I said.
Well, for $1.99, we got to agree with Chef Lewis here. I'm sorry,
not what I
Mike.
meant.
It's the rules.
I saw Chef Lewis the other day at the Comedy Connection.
Oh, cool.
No, I think, there was a tweet. Someone had a blind mic sighting out in the wild.
And they didn't come and say hello. That's very strange to me.
No, you're at the popularity now where everyone's too scared. We're just going to look at you from across the room. Take pictures.
It's weird to me to just go like, he's here, guys. If you want to come beat the shit out of him, he's here. But I'm not going to say hi to him or anything. That's very strange. But
he's here and he's going to learn why we're laughing and he's going to tell us about it. It is sort of like you are the man who judges comedy. I got to leave you alone in that atmosphere. Let you work. You don't go up to a wine taster and like douse his mouth with chocolate before you taste wine. No,
I understand.
Be free.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. What's next, sir?
All right. What are we going to now? Brendan Schaub?
Yeah, I got an Instagram. I got a Fighter and the Kid.
So we haven't checked in on Brendan Schaub in a while. Let's see this
Golden
Instagram
Hour.
post first, and I'll explain to you why I sent it to you. But Brendan Schaub is he tried something out with a YouTube channel it was originally called Toontown when we covered it last, and then he changed it to Drive Fast All Gas. That doesn't feel like great branding. but hey, Brendan Schaub's more successful than me. I guess he knows better. So there's been this thing on the Fighter and the Kid subreddit. They've been following this diligently. Brendan Schaub tried to give away a truck. He's very into cars and these high-end vehicles. We saw him crash one of them. So he's very into them. And he's been giving away this truck. And I'll explain why the Fighter and the Kid subreddit and other Brendan Schaub detractors think that what we're watching is a scam, basically, as the result of this contest.
This is Will.
Will, what's up, brother? It's Brendan Schaub.
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you this morning?
Doing good, doing good.
Where am I calling you at? Where are you located?
I'm here in Montrose, Colorado.
Montrose, Colorado. You're Colorado.
It feels like just two guys talking. Oh, Brendan Schaub's calling me. I'll just tell you exactly where I am. There's no way this is a scam or anything. I'll just give you all my information.
Yeah, nice little doxy docs in the morning.
I'm not excited. I'm not. It's just completely dead. Oh, hello, Brendan Schaub. Good to talk to you. For the first time ever.
Born and raised.
Born and raised, dude.
Yes, sir.
Well, you won the truck, man.
Dude, awesome.
It sounds like a guy who just won a... Nice. Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Good to talk to you, Brendan.
Now that'll be $10,000 for tax. Thank you. We'll need that by tomorrow.
This does not sound like a man who just won anything.
No.
For the shirts, but now I'm really excited.
Hell yeah, man. Tell me you're going to use this thing for what it was built for, man. Tell me you're going to take it out.
I mean,
yes.
There's so many trails around here, and, there's a lot of off-road series that I want to jump into, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited. I'm pumped.
Well, brother, the team will be in contact. We'll figure out the logistics. We'll get the truck to you. We'll get you out here as well. And this can be fun, man. I can't thank you enough for participating, and couldn't have picked a better winner. It's insane you're in Colorado, man. It's awesome, brother. I'll be in touch.
Okay.
Later, man.
Bye.
So the reason I wanted to play that is I was patrolling the Fighter and the Kid subreddit. Shout out PF Chang's to the boys in there. But evidently they believe, and I don't know if this is true, they believe that Brendan Schaub gave the truck to this man because he's a friend of Brendan's. And the evidence for that is that the guy owns a high-end auto body shop in Colorado near the area that Brendan Schaub is from. Just the odds that this truck, I'm sure, thousands and thousands of people entered to win this thing. And it just goes to, what are the odds? A guy from the town over where Brendan Schaub was born.
Universe provides, Mike. Universe provides.
He can't, even if that's not what happened, it's amazing to watch Brendan. He can never get out of his own way where everything has that stink to it. If he tries to do a contest, it flops. No one's interested in it, and he has to end up giving it to a buddy of his. It's like I haven't been as interested in Brendan Schaub the last few months as I have been in prior years, but I do check in on that subreddit every once in a while. I root around with the homeless cats, and they're very persistent, and it seems like there's no shortage of Brendan Schaub content. So I don't know if you have any more information on Will, the auto body shop owner who won that vehicle. I will say it was stupendous acting if it was an act. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. All right, Brendan. See you later. Oh, okay.
Not as good as Brendan.
Sounds like a real fan. Sounds like a real fan. A guy that won as a fan. Because if I don't know, Shane Gillis called me, I'd be like, hello, Shane. What's that? Okay. You're giving me a car? All right, whatever. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Shizzy. Yes.
So another post on there inspired me to go to see an episode of The Golden Hour. So we'll play this, and then I dug deeper into the latest episode of The Golden Hour, which it's bizarre to watch an environment where Crystalia is the alpha. And Crystalia might be the funniest of the group, as you'll see. But it's very interesting to me. But Brendan Schaub was very into Mexican Independence Day. I saw him mention it on 2 different podcasts that he does. Where he's like, hey, it's Mexican Independence Day, because his wife is Mexican. And, of course, he is the gringo poppy. So he has real deep ties to the Mexican culture. And they're talking about Mexico and I guess Tijuana here. And then this is Brendan telling a story. I don't know why he does this, but it can't be true, right? I don't know. You guys listen and tell me.
No? Okay, good.
I drove to Tijuana for car parts, and it's dicey as fuck.
Yeah, I've been to Tijuana.
They'll tell you don't have anything to worry about. Oh, really?
Crazy.
I off-road in the Baja 500 this past year. There was 3 dead guys on the course.
Come on.
And they're like, oh, that's strange. They kept going. They put 3 more dead guys on the course. And then finally a local's like, hey, dumbass, this is cartel territory.
Whoa.
This is them warning you, like, don't come through here. So they had to reroute everything and go around the mountain.
Oh, God, dude. Dealing with dude, here's...
Delia doesn't push back. Delia doesn't ask any questions about that.
So annoying, bro.
No, he said they're annoying. Cartels are so annoying.
Well, that's a good point, Chris. They definitely are. They're a real pain in the keister. You're right about that. But there's no pushback from anyone where they're like, I'm sorry. You were driving around the track and there's 3 dead bodies. And then that didn't alarm you at all. You're like, huh, that's a roadkill. That's odd. And so the cartel says, all right, gang, he's not particularly scared. Let's drag 3 more carcasses out here. What does he mean they brought 3 more dead bodies out? They're like, this is my problem with Brendan is he tells stories in a way that can't be true. Even as a guy that tries to defend him, it's like, well, you're telling it in a way. If it is true, you're telling it in a way that no one could believe it, Brendan. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's like a Monty Python sketch he's describing there. Bring out the dead.
All right, 3 bodies didn't scare this guy. We got a real tough guy on our hands.
I think it was more like 3 bodies didn't impress Chris D'Elia, so he added 3 more to the story. You know what I'm saying?
It's also interesting to watch, like, just 3 guys that are there to satiate their own egos, basically. Like, where I don't think they're listening to each other. Like, D'Elia just says, oh, man, the cartel's so annoying, bro, and just moves on to his own thing. Where it's like, it's just 3 guys talking at each other, I think. You know, and that's what's fascinating about the Golden Hour podcast, because again, it gives Chris D'Elia, and we talked about this with D'Elia's solo show, it gives D'Elia an outlet to actually look coherent and almost funny, because he gets to be funnier than Brendan Schaub and smarter than Brendan, and just be like, oh, you're the moron, which is both entertaining and frustrating to me, because I know Chris D'Elia as a piece of shit. Well, I shouldn't say I know him. I don't know the man. Just from observing his podcast, he seems to me like a piece of shit. And he gets to go on here and just use Brendan as a punching bag when it's like, well, I don't know how much better you are, Chris.
Yeah, but that's obviously why Brendan's there. Like, Chris is looking at this like, he's my rope back to freedom. You know, I'll just climb this guy up.
I guess so, yeah. Or it's the only safety net that Chris had. Is like, this is the only guy that'll do a show with me at this point.
Yeah, that and Stuttering John. Come over here, Chris. That would be amazing.
But it is, if you're wondering who the third person is, it's Eric Griffin, another comedian that I know Red Bar has had a lot of fun with. So I don't know much about Eric Griffin or his comedy history, really, but I know he was a target of Red Bars for a while also. So all 3 of these guys have really reached lol-cow heights in their own right. But let's get a little more into the Golden Hour, shall we?
Absolutely. Let's just do one real quick super chat here because it's red, and I like that. DJ Electrify, you there? You around?
Yep.
There you go. Dr.
Hamad for SAR 50. Saudi Arabian money. Let's hit the goal.
Yes. It's $13.32 American. Just did the transfer.
Thank you, Saudi Arabia. We appreciate it.
Awesome.
Yes. We might have to return that money soon. Don't thank him too much, Mike. All right. This one's called What's the Deal with Names?
This is like one of their classic riffs. This, I think, is the height of comedy that you will get on this podcast. And it's really D'Elia at his finest. That's what we know and love Chris for.
All right, here it goes.
I want to live there.
People getting shot in Tulum. No, you don't.
I know. I'm kidding, bro.
Oh, okay.
I want to live where I live.
Mexico's a great vacation. The resorts. It's nice.
It's all right.
I just think it's like if you want to go to, listen, here's the thing. You say you want to go to Bora Bora, okay?
Say it once, but yeah.
That's the name.
I know, but if you just said Bora, we'd be like, all right.
It.
Yeah.
You're not going to make me say your fucking city twice, dude.
It's Bora Bora.
Bro.
I went to Colorado.
Bora Bora is dumb. Why? Some guy had a stutter when he named it.
Well, flights out of Los Angeles.
Boy, it's just like watching Letterman in his prime, huh? What offbeat commentary that is.
This was like Spinal Tap when the cameras weren't on.
It's just
genius.
As I always say with D'Elia, the best word to describe him is just exhausting. Like, the place is called Bora Bora. Can we move on? Do we need to do 20 minutes on this? But here we go. We continue.
I mean, that's clearly a New York bit he just reworked for Bora Bora, right? Like, you can't have obviously missed the biggest city in America is also... Anyway, sorry.
They do a lot on this. They're like, later, they bring it back, and they're like, hey, there's also Walla Walla, Washington. Isn't that crazy? Like, who gives a fuck?
These podcasts are getting millions of views, right? Just checking.
Well, they're still... this had, like, tens of thousands. I mean,
okay.
The Days of the Heights are... But they're still big podcasts. So, yeah, your point is taken.
Yeah, you should be trouncing these tards.
Los Angeles.
Like, there's
no... Called...
There were no jokes. He's like, well, what if it was like Los Angeles? It's like...
Yeah, no, that made me think for half a second. That's a joke, Mike.
It'd be fucking crazy. Imagine if the things that are named had different names. Wouldn't that be fucking wacky?
Chaos. It'd be chaos, Mike. I'm going to laugh now. Ha, that was funny.
The one thing I will give Chris D'Elia is, like, when he's in that environment, like when Eric Griffin's pretending what he's saying is funny, it does sound less psychotic than the Congratulations podcast when Chris is just alone.
Yeah, why do you think I got Electra around? I sound way less psychotic when she's around. Thank you for that, DJ Electra. Next one is called More Name Talk. I wonder what this is about.
Oh, it's not over. If you thought fun with the name Bora Bora was classic hijinks, there's more in store.
This show's Bora Bora. Hey-o. Not ours.
Listen, we have like these kind of like weird...
Thank you, Nick.
We have like old school sort of normal names.
Mm-hmm.
Yours is that kind of like variation.
I'm on borderline like Elon Musk.
It should be Brandon.
Hold on, I'm sorry. In what way? In what way, possibly, is Brendan Schaub like Elon Musk?
2 syllables, 1 syllable. 2 syllables, 1 syllable. Thank you.
Oh, I guess that can't be what he meant, is it?
That got to be what it is.
That's
it's not
brilliant.
Letters.
If you stumbled upon that, how is the name Brendan Schaub like Elon Musk? You might be right. Is that what he meant?
I'm Brendan Schaub level smart. That is not brilliant.
That's astonishing. If you got inside that mind, very nice.
By the way, Casey Day, 2 and 1. Me too. I'm like Elon Musk.
But Brendan, first of all, I wouldn't say Brendan is like a classic name. There were no President Brendans, I don't think.
It was in the Bible. Brendan helped Jesus.
So I don't know if it's like a classic name, but how Elon? What was he talking about? Elon's not a particularly normal name, is it?
I've never heard it before, and I've never heard it since.
I don't know a ton of Elons other than Musk. What does he mean? I want to spend 40 more minutes on this, but I know we can't.
Let's break it up. Get out the whiteboard. Let's just break it down.
Is that kind of like variation?
I'm on borderline like Elon Musk.
It should be Brandon. Okay, just.
Oh, even your name, his name, yeah.
Yeah. His name is like okay.
Right.
Yours is Eric with a K.
I mean, what's the deal? What are these names? Brandon? Why can't they just make it one? What the fuck are they talking about? They do know this show is nothing. They just come in and they're like, what are names, man? Like, what even are the cities have names? Fucking people have names. Like, what is this even?
Nouns, am I right?
Brandon, Bora Bora. What are words, man?
That frustrates me.
Mine's the. I don't know if you think that
Hold on, can you go back a little bit?
Yeah.
What in tarnation is Eric laughing at? What in God's name? That was a powerful laugh. Let me hear this again.
Yeah. His name is like okay.
Right.
Yours is Eric with a K. That frustrates me.
Mine's the. I don't know if
powerful
you think that
it's at most mildly amusing by Brendan. I'm not saying it was a terrible line or anything, but that's a. Oh, you just hit me in the gut, Brendan. With that, it's all like fake horse shit where they're like, guys, we are best friends and we're all having a great time.
that it feels weird for a word to end on a C, though, to me.
Thank you.
Oh,
He
God
put
damn
everyone
it.
else spells their name
No,
Eric.
well, no.
with a C.
I know people with Eric with a K.
No, it's not. Fuck every Boston Celtic. See? Easy.
How many others?
The Dutch way, man.
Yeah, it's Dutch,
Vikings.
bro. It's Dutch.
Vikings, baby.
Obviously, look at him, dude. He's a Viking.
Oh,
Damn right.
that makes sense.
Imagine him on the front of a ship.
That makes sense.
Just fucking.
I'd be driving.
Yeah.
You know, with the things.
Eric.
No, but I'm just saying.
Yes.
So like the names now, like even our kids' names.
These are guys that have known each other for years. And their show is like, let's go in and like, man, fucking your name is crazy, brother. Eric, but it's spelled kind of weird. And Brendan, that's not Brandon. Don't get me started on the ways we could spell Chris. I mean, that's zany stuff. What the fuck are they doing? Like, what is the preparation for this show? This feels, if you're a fan of this show, God bless you. Let me know. Maybe I'm missing something with it. But it feels like what they're saying is we want to use you people for views. And if you subscribe to our Patreon, we want to steal money from you. We will put no work into this show. We'll just pour whatever horse shit comes into our minds, pour it out of our mouths. And then we go home after an hour. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, Lady K had this saying that I wear like a tattoo. If your show sounds like a Zoom call, it's not a show. And this, like, they're famous people and the lighting's good and it looks great, but the discussion is a Zoom call. Like, this is what your parents talk about when you go to, like, this is not a show.
And I've had more interesting Zoom calls than this. I mean, come on.
There are shows that are just like show up, bust each other's balls, like the Regs with Soder, Joe List, Luis Gomez, and Bob Kelly. And Luis J. Gomez, I apologize. And but those guys like have known each other forever, and it feels like even when they have nothing, it feels like you're in on the conversation. It's interesting to you. It's funny or it's insightful. Or there's something there. Whereas with these guys, they're like, man, cities are crazy, huh? I guess. What else do you have on that, Chris?
I also have never seen a lot. There's not that many good LA shows or comics. It's sad, you know. Like it's just sad. Like
the state of LA is really gone because, especially now with all the guys that have moved to Austin, it's like LA doesn't have a lot. Like, Andrew Santino's still there. I don't know. I don't know much else, but
it's barren. The closet's barren over here.
Yeah.
Like it's like
if you look at the number,
it's so not that this.
No, if you look up the #1 baby names of like 2023, there's some weird stuff on there.
Teabag and like,
Teabag.
No, I don't think so, Eric. I don't think. Listen, I know it's a wacky sounding name. Wouldn't that be zany if a kid was named Teabag? I don't believe it was the #1 name in 2020. Eric, I know times have changed, and I know that has provided us a lot of hilarity. Joe Matarese pointed it out very well in his latest special. Boy, are times different than they used to be. I don't think Teabag is the #1 name of last year. But the boys will tell us. I mean, listen to this list of wild names. First of all, this has never been done before. The names are different now. But once they read this list, we're going to go, wow, Eric was really onto something.
I love the Brendan's reading a book of names. Like, imagine you round the corner, you just see Brendan Schaub, and he's reading a book of names. It's just like a regular book.
This is like what Andy Kaufman would do this to be purposely annoying. Like, I'm just going to read a list of men's names.
Weird names.
Most popular baby names in 2023. It is weird that we just keep using
Olivia,
the same names
Noah, Emma.
Oh my! Who's ever heard of those? Aren't human name, Brendan.
Look at him read it. Looks like it hurts his brain.
Oh,
it's
poor
from
Brendan.
my favorite book, bro. The baby name book, bro.
Amelia, Oliver.
Oh, Brendan,
Sophia.
These aren't names. Someone obviously just fell on the keyboard. These aren't humans' names. Who's ever heard these before? Amelia, Noah, Emma, Olivia. I have family members with these names. It's not that crazy.
This show's reading the phone book.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Elijah. A lot of Bible names. Charlotte.
A lot of Bible
British.
names. Asher.
Let's keep in mind. Listen to the names they're reading. Charlotte, Noah. Eric's example of a popular name was Teabag. Are these on par with those? Charles. Wow, that's crazy.
Why do we keep? We should keep.
But there's no John in
There's
there.
no Joes. There's no Joseph.
They came pretty fucking close, guys. You read the name Emma. These are pretty basic names.
Christopher,
Roberts.
Yeah.
There's no Brandons up there, you know.
Aurora.
Yeah,
It's about Muhammad. Interesting. Harper. I like Harper.
Theo. Uh-oh.
Where's Theo?
Theo is
Theo,
number
remember
20.
the guy? Oh, Brendan, I'm sorry. You asked where Theo was? He left you years ago. He realized this ship was sinking, and he got a life vest and swam to Tennessee.
I know this guy named Theo.
The number 20 name.
How about how like in
By the way, in a discussion of like these new age hipster names, Theodore is on the list. This is Eric's example again was Teabag. They're like, oh man, the names in 2023, I can't even fucking pronounce them. You know, Theodore, Olivia.
Now when you look back on history, it's like Grover and Harold and like
all those names.
Henry, and now it's gonna be like look back or look at the pictures. There's Asher. He's gonna be like a fucking cabinet member, Asher Dudical.
Yeah, that's
and
what
it's
I'm
just
saying.
like,
It's
oh
weird.
man.
Hold on. Why would the last name get so zany? Last names are around for generations, Chris. Why is someone in the future all of a sudden going to be named Dudical when their grandfather was Smith?
Well, I can tell you why, because that kid is changing his name as soon as he legally can from fucking this guy. That ain't my dad.
You don't think they want the D'Elia lineage? Dudical is better?
He's already given his kids future names because he knows that they're shame of him.
A bizarre
Yeah.
instinct to be like, hey, we used to have names like Grover, but now we have names like Asher. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
No.
You should have seen what my dad did and what his name was. I had to change my name to D'Elia. So this is like a pattern in their family, just a bunch of people changing their names.
Asher is someone who got pregnant in college.
Oh yeah.
It's Asher Roth. I love.
How does it take three people to produce this show?
Yeah,
What
I'm
is
glad. I'm glad the producer chimed in to show we haven't found the floor yet. If you thought Brendan, Eric, and Chris were bad at this, thank God a fourth voice is there.
There is three producers here, and they could not be more stereotypical.
I think there's four. It's just hard to see. He's in the back.
Asher, you know what's crazy about the name Asher is there was a guy who had a song once named Asher. Excellent contribution. Thank you.
Quick, two of you get the phone book ready. Two of you do something else.
It's just, it's like it's the verbal equivalent of ink blots. Like D'Elia said the name Asher, and this guy's like Asher Roth. Oh yes, that is a name.
I love college.
Yeah.
The timeline works out.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see.
You see what? What do you see? That a guy was named Asher? What are you impressed with, Chris?
They see paychecks every Friday for this dumbass easy job. That's what they see, Mike.
They'll get 40,000 views on fucking YouTube, and we'll sell ads for it, and it'll be good. Let's just talk about names for 20 minutes.
Why are we working so hard? Fucking A.
I do.
This is an endless clip, by the way. It's, how long is this?
Well, another 3 minutes on the total clips.
Okay, well, we'll find out.
Yeah, this was the long one.
I thought the names would be crazier. Those are pretty safe.
Thank you, Brendan. Finally, some sanity. Jesus. Thank you, Brendan.
Get back in the tanning bed, Brendan.
They're going off like it's this crazy bit they had. Like, look at this. Amelia is a name. Can you guys believe that? And Brendan finally, at long last, is like, guys, I don't think this bit is panning out. We haven't found a single unique name.
We're going to need to hire 2 more producers. Stat! This next one's called Elon.
Oh, so Elon was mentioned, and he comes back. They talk for a while about Elon. Again, this show has like no focus. If you ask them what's the point of the show, I don't think they'd be able to answer, because what they do is they talk about names for an ungodly amount of time, and then they're like, man, Elon Musk, he has a lot of money, huh? And it's like, well, what? Cover some ground that hasn't been. They do get into real news 45 minutes in, but like for the first 40 minutes or so, it's just mindless horse shit that anyone could come up with. It's very weird.
Weird ones.
Sorry, hold on. Elon Musk has 13 kids?
Yeah, man.
He does?
Yeah.
He plays for the NBA?
Wow.
African.
That was like the most subtle racist thing to say.
And you
I
know
don't know if it
what?
was particularly subtle, Eric. I got to be honest with you. It might have almost nicked the top of your head, but we caught it.
Also, the Jets would have been a better joke. Like the NBA, Sean Kemp, but the Jets had
Antonio
a lot more
Cromartie, yes.
Yeah, Cromartie is that's the child guy. He had 3 in the same year. Didn't know their names. Amazing.
I think Chris was just making a blanket statement about black people in general. I don't think it mattered.
No, yes.
Deep, I stand on it.
He had a whole thing with his whatever daughter, or son, whatever he is.
You can't try and make the world a better place and be a good dad. You can't get to you can't build a ship to go to Mars. And
Also,
be a
you
good
can't
dad.
be a good warlord without being a good with being a good dad. You can't.
Say Saddam Hussein, great dad.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
No. You're too busy
He had all
chopping heads
girls.
off.
Well,
These are really insightful thoughts that powerful people can't be good parents. This is ground. They've got their machetes out as they cover ground that no one has dared walk into before.
And making rules.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Willy-nilly rules. Don't show your mouth. I'll kill everyone.
But you're like, if your dad's like, let's say your dad is the richest man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at what point, like, at what age are you like, well, what am I doing? Like, what am I?
You ever seen the
What am I
suicide?
gonna go
You ever
do?
seen the statistics on suicide? If your dad's a billionaire,
I look them up every
you're
day.
like 400% more likely to commit suicide.
I look them up every
That's
day.
only because your dad's a dick.
No, 'cause you
Like,
have- no,
you have
you-
to work. I'm not going to give you any money.
You have no drive. Like you wake up and you're like, I guess I'll go to college.
I gotta say, hold on one second. I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase anecdotal, but I can't imagine. Maybe the children of billionaires are 400% more likely to kill themselves. It's a much smaller sample size. One suicide could skew the numbers tremendously.
What am I gonna
Where's
make?
Brendan getting that?
Brendan math. That's Brendan math. This next one's called Oracle of Norfolk.
Norfolk. No, I believe it's supposed to be, yeah. But tell me, well, we'll hear. Tell me if you know who Eric Griffin is talking about here, because you pick up on it pretty quickly. He's the last one to know exactly who he's talking about, I think.
I only know one Oracle, and he's made me a very happy man. If it's the same man.
I believe it is.
Ah, yes.
We're joke.
Doing it for him.
It's a typo.
People, I write it as he sends it.
We don't need to spend 40 minutes on it. It's a typo. It was a clear accident.
Do it.
Let's move on.
I want to move to North.
Johnny Carson from. I did a show there because what's his name? One of the richest guys in the world, the electricity guy, is from this town.
Mm-hmm.
And people, he's like cheap. Everybody knows where he lives.
Electro?
Yeah, it's in Iowa. It's in Iowa. Yeah, Norfolk or whatever.
Although
they have a
born in Iowa,
Carson
Johnny moved to
museum there
Norfolk.
too. But anyway, what's the guy? Warren Buffett.
He's like, he got everything about that wrong. He brings up Johnny Carson, who's from Nebraska, where Warren Buffett is from, and he's like, it's Iowa, it's Norfolk. What do we? You guys know? Come on, they call him the something of Norfolk. Who is that guy? Yes, of course, Warren Buffett, Iowa's finest.
And of course, everyone knows he's the Oracle of Omaha, so not even on that list. That option wasn't not even on the table.
I don't even know if there is a Norfolk. What did he say? Iowa? I don't know if that exists.
That's hilarious. This one's called Cheap.
Yeah, so we're talking more about Warren Buffett, and listen to how they summarize, like you know a fair deal about Warren Buffett, Casey Day.
Yeah, read the minutes every year.
I think the advice that he gives to people about not buying a fancy car and stuff like that, to me that seems strategic. But these meatheads are able to summarize it in a way I hadn't thought of before.
There is a Norfolk
Yeah,
Creek,
Warren Buffett.
Iowa.
What?
Norfolk Creek, Iowa.
Well, Warren Buffett must vacation there then. I'm sure that's what
Maybe
Eric
so.
meant.
Like, it's crazy how everybody in the town's like, oh yeah, Warren lives.
Right.
You know, he lives down the block. Sometimes you see him driving his Toyota Corolla.
Bro, I hate
I don't like that shit.
I
Yeah, I
hate
don't
that he
like
drives
that
that
shit.
shit. Get a helicopter and get a fucking Lamborghini and get a fucking get all of the cars.
Yeah, who are you doing it for?
Dude, what are you doing?
Who's it for?
Hey,
Retards try and analyze a billionaire. That's the whole point. It's the antithesis of what you guys are describing. You know what you should. You know who had it right is MC Hammer. He really handled his finances well. Wesley Snipes. These guys, they knew how to handle a dollar.
Get a Lamborghini. This guy's having a midlife crisis right in the middle of that fantasy. He's like, get all the red cars and all the coke and all the young girls. I'm old. I'm dying. Like, calm down.
They're gonna summarize Warren Buffett in a way that doesn't even make sense. And again, this is like what this show is. It's just like they hear a name, like someone mentioned Elon Musk, and they're like, "Who's another billionaire? Let's go. Let's say all the Warren Buffett things we know."
Yeah. And by the way, folks, he's sitting on $330 billion cash. Learn where he's from, asshole.
Well, it's because he's cheap, though, as we're about to find out.
The Toyota. Saving on the Toyota got him that money. Yeah.
Act the part. You're rich.
Sometimes the people are just cheap, dude. It is what it is.
But
when you're that, when you have billions,
cheap is getting a Urus. Cheap is the guy is fucking $9 trillion. It's cheap to get any car. I'm cheap.
Yeah.
I'll get the Phantom.
But they said there's stories about LeBron James, like he won't pay for like Spotify Premium. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Well,
there's a level of cheapness that people have in their head.
Yeah, you can never like.
What is wrong with these guys?
I don't
Cheapness would imply like they're penny pinching, like they're trying to save every dollar. No, LeBron probably doesn't use Spotify often enough to pay for it. So it's some dumb clickbait story that who would possibly give a fuck about. And Warren Buffett's logic is like, you don't need a Lamborghini. It's a useless thing. I get around in a Toyota Corolla or whatever the fuck he drives because it gets me from point A to point B. That's the whole point. And these guys are going, no, actually, you know what would be smarter is to just piss away your money.
Go.
I'm cheap like.
This next one's called Hard of Hearing, Mike.
Okay.
Your parents are hard of hearing though, yeah?
My dad has tinnitus. Yeah, that tinnitus thing that
Tendinitis.
No, it's tinnitus. Okay.
Is Brendan joking?
No.
Is he kidding there?
I
No.
would say no. We're gonna go back and watch the tape now that we're all.
Your parents are hard of hearing though, yeah?
My dad has tinnitus. Yeah, that tinnitus thing that
Tendinitis.
No, he is not fucking joking.
He's like, I'll correct both of you idiots. It's tendinitis. Brendan's an athlete. I guess he's probably he hasn't dealt with tendinitis yet necessarily. That's more in older people, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe he would know what it is, though, right?
Well, I think he
Yes,
knows
he
what it
should.
is, and he's just he thinks that they're confused, pointing to their head. He's like, no, it's in your arm.
Out of the way, idiots. You're thinking of tendinitis.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'll set the record straight. It is tinnitus. Okay, just setting it straight.
It's the worst when you correct someone and then you're wrong about that. So I've been there.
Oh, of course. But at a certain point, it's like, is Brendan in on the joke? Like, is that a joke or is he really doing that? Because, like, if Brendan is that guy, he could have played his career in a way where he's beloved.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is that he just gets mad when I think Brendan thinks he's a lot smarter than he is. But if he was just a fighter that became a comic, that is a guy who thinks a hearing issue is called tendinitis. Like, if he built himself as that guy his whole career, I think Brendan would be beloved. Like, look at a lot of comics who are actually smarter than they are and kind of play idiots. Like, people love that. Like, Theo Vaughn's a great example. I think Theo's probably smarter than he comes off. But you listen to him with Trump, and he's just a lovable nitwit. You're like, this guy's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan can't do that because Brendan would try if he had Trump on, would try and have like an intellectual conversation with Trump and match wits with him and talk about politics and policy and things of that nature. Brendan would try and pass legislation with Donald Trump, whereas he's a guy who thinks, let's hear it one more time. He's a guy that thinks it's tendinitis, you know?
Your parents are hard of hearing though, yeah?
My dad has tinnitus. Yeah, that tinnitus thing that
Tendinitis.
Is it tinnitus or is it tinnitus?
Like, that's who Brendan is. And if he embraced that his whole career, I think things could have gone a lot differently. I mean, the toothpaste is out of the tube now, as they say. Like, Brendan is who he is. He has his reputation. People are never going to change their minds on him. But, like, that guy that we just heard could have played that character much better than he has, I think, you know? Like, he could have been a guy we laugh with instead of laugh at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that the comparison is apt to, like, when everyone first got to Stuttering John, and it was like, man, if this guy just made a few changes, he's leaving them up. So I guess what you're saying is both these guys with just an attitude adjustment could just, like, open their bank accounts, but they can't get over the pride to do it.
Well, John on Howard's show is what I'm talking about, where it's like, hey, you call him an idiot. He comes in, he shows balls, he interviews he interviews famous people and says things that you're not supposed to say, and people love this guy. And then he comes in and Howard goofs on him and says he can't do anything right, and he's just a call screener. And we go, hey, don't talk about John like that. We like him. But then when John gets an ego, we're all like, oh, I don't care for this.
Yeah.
And that's what Brendan did when he started suing YouTubers and trying to get things taken down. Like, what they should do is embrace this. This is what I tried to get across to Tom Myers, is like, be who you are and let people goof on you more. So I like, it almost pains me to see that clip where it's like, oh, he could have been that guy. Like, that's fun to be the guy that says tendinitis when no one's anywhere close to talking about that.
And it's so little work for him. Just be yourself.
Right.
That's the thing. You don't even got to worry about it. This one's called Making It Racial. You didn't put an end time to this, so I kind of guessed where you, but if you wanted to stop short,
okay,
just let me know.
Good call. Yeah.
But it's called Making It Racial. They get weird here.
Stringtrade.com/golden hour. Enjoy the coffee.
Oh, your anger management.
Yeah.
Anger management.
That's what Rachel says to me. Your anger management. Like, listen, we're in the car. You want you? I just want my wife to commiserate.
I think I probably fucked this timestamp up. We can skip through.
Okay.
Is this the last one?
Yeah, there's only like 30 seconds more in it.
Yeah. I think we just fucked it up. But I'll explain what happened. Is they talk about Tyreek Hill, and that, like, Eric Griffin goes, well, with the Tyreek Hill thing, like, there's a lot of examples of white people doing a lot more than that and getting away with it. And Brendan Schaub goes, yeah, but statistically, like, white people get shot by the cops more than black people. And Eric goes, Brendan, you're the one making this racial. It's the craziest moment, because I was like, Brendan didn't do anything wrong here. What is wrong with you? But that's
they kind of
the end
toss
with
him
a dud
around
there on Golden Hour.
Yeah, I actually like that show. I'd probably watch it now that I know that they just kind of toss him around like an idiot on that show.
Well, that's what's interesting. Like, is they framed it that way all along. Like, if Brendan was with guys that could kind of bully him, for lack of a better term, and Brendan was cool with it, I do think he'd be like a beloved figure. He'd be a lovable moron, and we'd be like, "Hey, bro, what do you?" Then you're more likely to get other gigs, like these gigs that Brendan wants to do for UFC and stuff like that, because that's what I've known to do. Is like, I go on Kirk Minahan's show, and I'm the moron there that you can goof on, and then I come here and I goof on Craig. You know, shit runs downhill, as they say.
Yes, Electra gets it from me, and she gives it to the other poker people she plays with.
So on and so forth.
Yes. We got one super chat here from you that is going to be funny to hear Electra read. Read this, every word, go.
Okay, bloated fagot, $1.99. Huge Daylord here.
Getting us in trouble, bloated.
Okay.
No.
Well, that's fun.
Not going to happen with me.
Yeah, she's good.
Craig would have read that much differently.
She read it French. I think it's okay. Yes. Where would you like to go next, Blind Mike? Well, I guess Stuttering John is the place we go next.
Well, we did just mention him, so we might as well, right?
Sure. Yes. I always love some stuff.
I think we missed one super chat. I don't want to miss it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah,
no, we already read it. Never mind. Just me.
Oh, Electra.
I'm terrible.
No, she's
really
quality assurance, Mike.
On things.
All right. Do you want to set this up?
Well, this fits in very well with what we were just talking about, actually, where I think this might be the first moment, at least that I've seen, that John is not the butt of a joke on his own show. and yet he's able to do nothing with it, which I find very interesting. So this is Clay Dabbler looking like a moron, getting in the way of John sounding like a moron, which I find fascinating. There's a lot of layers here to this.
We go to the ghetto, mosey on by.
Mike's shitty internet provider, thanks to Dorks, drinking $50 to $80 a day of beer on these tapes. Skull. Yeah.
How could you drink $80 worth of beer? You'd need your stomach pumped, right?
Yes. And I don't really give a shit. You
Well, maybe. I mean, you could
Attaboy,
probably, I'm sure you could probably sink 15 beers.
All right, let's just say at the pub, it's $5 a pint, right?
What you're about to hear is John do what a lot of alcoholics do, is when someone that suggests they might be an alcoholic, like if someone said, I'm an alcoholic, if someone said, hey, I'm drinking a beer, and someone's like, Mike, I think you've got a real problem, I'd go, yeah, probably. End of discussion. What John does, and what a lot of alkies do, is they say, hey, John, you're an alcoholic. And John goes, no, I'm not. I'm very angry about this, and here's why I'm not. It's like, oh, well, that proves that you definitely don't have a problem because you're so calm and collected about this. So John is about to try and make an excuse for getting so plastered every night that he tells people, if someone asks him to do something, like Rob Saul recently asked him to do a show at 8:30, and I've heard this before. Casey Day used to try to have him on at night. And John would go, oh, well, if it's past 8 o'clock. By the way, back then, John was on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And still, people would say, hey, can you do something at 8 Eastern time? And he'd be like, oh, by then I'm going to be half in the bag. So no chance. So John's about to explain why I guess it's mathematically impossible for him to get drunk. So I don't even understand his point here, but then Clay Dabbler gets in the way.
Right?
2 pints at the pub, 2 pints.
So if I bought 8 pints, how much would that be, Clay?
Well, how much are they, sorry?
$5 a pint. And if I bought 8,
45.
Almost.
400. I don't know.
Hold on. How did he get there? How did he get into the hundreds?
Because he cannot upset this man. It's the tedious relationship is at best.
It is probably a lot of pressure. I'm probably not giving Clay credit. It is probably a lot of pressure when you're like, I have to make him look smarter than me. So how am I supposed to answer this? Am I supposed to give the right answer? Does that move the conversation along? Or does he want me to be dumber than him? What am I supposed to do here?
That's the dance, but you can never land on where he's going to step next, or John will just cut you. He'll cut you so fast you won't even see it, and he'll never talk to you again.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Joey C is still sitting by the side of the road waiting for John to pick him up. Just dropped him like that. So these guys know it's just one wrong word, and I think the game they get into is like, ooh, how close can I get to the edge? Ooh, how close can I get to? And then they eventually fall through. Right. You know, the quad father hole.
But John, it's interesting to watch John here because he wants this guy to look like an idiot, so he doesn't correct him. Yet correcting people is John's favorite thing to do. But also, John is so eager to make this pompous point of how no one can ever get drunk. So what he's trying to launch into is this these mathematics that you've heard before if you watch John, where he's like, I drink 8 beers at the pub over 4 hours. Your body, I guess, I don't know, evaporates alcohol 3 beers per hour.
Metabolizes.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, we got numbers.
So the alcohol disappears every hour. So really, it's like I drank 2 beers, I guess is going to be John's ultimate point here.
Man.
I can't even think. I'm not even thinking.
Clay, what is 8 times 5?
8 times 5 is 45. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 40.
There you go, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, what is 9?
I'm like Eric the midget. Oh,
Clay.
it's too early.
Clay, what is 9 times 5?
No. 9 times 5.
What's interesting is if John did that, and Clay Dabbler seems to be being a good sport about this. He just fucked up. We all do that from time to time. I just did it when I couldn't think of the word metabolizes. So we all make mistakes like that. what John is doing is very interesting because he's like, oh, I can goof on this guy. Whereas if John fucked up a math problem, or as we hear him do with grammar all the time, where he criticizes people, it's actually Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. But then if someone calls out John for doing the same thing, he's like, whatever, I type fast. No, don't worry about it.
That might be one of the most annoying things about him is when he'll take a super chat that asks a good question that would actually lead to something, and he just, oh, you put the period in the wrong place. Moving on. Yeah, it just bothers me.
Yeah.
He just doesn't care about anyone.
9 times 5. Well, that would be
Such a good teacher.
45. 45.
Yeah, can you imagine a kid just in class answering that question to John, and he's doing the elephant in front of him?
He's just laughing his ass off.
Oh, that's a good point.
Teach.
I forgot he was an actual. When you said that, it didn't register to me that he was a teacher.
A substitute one, but still.
John's just doing the retard hand to this.
Those kids go to the zoo and they see an elephant. They have PTSD. They fall on the ground. They're like, something happened to me when I was a child.
It's too late, John.
Yes,
Don't ask
that
me
would be
maths.
45.
Yeah.
Let me give you an easy way to do this, Clay.
I know the 9s you can do on your fingers, right?
Yes, but so if
I guess anything you can do on your fingers, technically speaking.
Finger multiplication. Yes.
He's almost going full, don't go full tard. He's almost going full tard for John. He's almost going. He's like, the finger in the hole, John? Yes, Clay. Yes, Clay. Like, this is a very sad relationship.
I do wonder if this is an act from Clay Dabbler, because he's asking,
it's 100% an act.
Can I do 9 times 5 on my fingers? It's like, what are you talking about?
$5 is
So
what?
9 times
That means
9 times 7 is like 60.
So if I
He's
had
almost there, John. John, let him get
$5,
there.
how
He's so close.
much would that be?
Fuck off! I don't care. I'm not answering.
10. So therefore,
Yeah, whatever.
If you do, forget it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing maths. I'm a fucking retard.
It's textbook how you deal with a narcissist. Like, you let them own, you let them have the power. You're the dummy. Oh, well, you're the smart guy, John. it's textbook. Bravo, Clay.
Well,
bravo.
This is actually disproving my entire Brendan Schaub theory that I had a minute ago, where it's like, oh, well, Brendan should take being the punching bag, and then on other shows he can be the alpha in the room. Once you kind of have that affability. What I'm realizing is some guys just don't possess that skill. Like with Stuttering John here, there is a man who just asked, can I get to the number 45 on my fingers? And then he's almost at 63, but he needs 13 hands for that, so he's not quite getting there. And John does nothing with it. It's astonishing.
Builder.
All
They
right.
use a calculator.
All right, so here you go. So if I had 8 pints, then it
At
would
the
be
pub.
40, and I would tip 10. So yeah, it would be about 50.
They're gonna rinse me now for that, you wanker. You arsehole. I don't give a
All right,
shit.
look, I had Chad. I was on.
Oh God, I'm sweating. I'm sweating from that.
I was
man.
on his.
Woo!
Look,
John does
Old
not care
State-
that this man is speaking, by the way. There is no, it's like, get out of my way. What you're hearing is the verbal equivalent to someone like dancing in a hallway where John's just trying to get his groceries at the other end of the aisle. He's like, please, sir, if you wouldn't mind moving.
Just imagine like a guy walking really loudly through a cornfield, just pushing all the corn aside, getting to the front.
Is that
Oh gosh, that's traumatizing.
I asked Chad. I said, Chad, if one beer dissipates from my system every hour, and I have 5 beers over the course of 3 hours, how many beers are in my system? And he could not come up with the correct. How many?
My
Clay?
God.
So if one beer dissipates every hour,
Let's all do this
and
together.
I have 5 beers in 3 hours, how many beers are still in my system?
17.
3 beers.
Electra, nurse, give us an answer on that one.
2.
45.
500. Yeah, I don't.
$1 billion, John. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, John, I'm so stupid.
Five beers in 3 hours.
Yes.
2 beers.
2 beers.
2 beers. Sorry.
He's
Because
forgetting,
one
though.
dissipates every.
He's forgetting
What's
his
that?
liver disease makes it a lot slower. So, yeah.
Well, it's also John. That's not John's pace of drinking. We've seen him drink on shows. He's not drinking less than 2 beers an hour.
No,
Especially not at the pub when he's not yapping away.
Yeah, that hypothetical liver he's talking about is fine. His in trouble.
Hour.
I'm trolling. I'm actually really good at maths. I'm just trolling John. Yeah, straight up. That's me. I'm trolling. Yeah.
Oh, they're doing double elephants now. It's so cute.
Just talking
They are
elephant.
adorable.
They are.
I like this
It's like the
Dabbler.
Odd Couple. It really is the Odd Couple.
This
in that
this
they're both
clip,
odd.
This clip, by the way, is from My Lost Interest, right?
Yep, I was going to just say thank you, My Lost Interest. Make sure you go follow all the Clippers from Real Media Player to My Lost Interest to Doom
Yes.
to
Yeah,
Stalin.
we got clips from all of them. And like I said yesterday, My Lost Interest is helpful because anyone that clips John, like I've been so disinterested in John lately, but that clip I found funny. I was like, oh, we could break this down for 5 minutes. But other than that, like if you go watch John's show, he's in repeats again. He's like, surely I'm going to box you. It's like, oh, we did, but John, we did that. You're not going to do that, man. Why are we back at this point?
I think what we've seen is how unhinged Aaron really is in his personal life with his wife and his show and we look at John and we're like, oh, this has been just an act or charade this whole time. And the real stuff's over here. Give me the real.
Right.
And so we're just, it's the same. People are running over there now because it's real and there's felony charges and there's court TV and there's a mugshot. There's all this shit that's exciting. John, you got to get arrested. You got to get arrested.
John has become boring. So are we getting to the guy that's real exciting these days?
We are, except I watched this. I hadn't watched this, and I've never cared about this guy, and now I'm invested. I want this man overthrown.
I knew this would get your dander up, so to speak.
You cat-hating bastard.
But we'll get to that in a second. But first, I want to address something from yesterday. A couple things.
Oh, yes.
So we talked about Aaron's interview with that Aussie guy. First of all, I want to take this back because the Aussie guy tweeted out yesterday. In the clip that we watched from Doom, we saw Aaron, what seemed like dox that Aussie guy as Dean What's whatever the fuck his name is. I guess that's not the full context, and I guess Husey was saying the Aussie guy's name a bunch at the beginning of the show, so that's how Aaron knew it, which to me doesn't make any sense, because if you go back and watch that clip, Aaron goes, oh, I research everybody. And I guess it's just a joke that didn't land or something. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense now that we have that context. But credit where it's due, Aaron did not dox the Aussie guy. I guess Husey did, apparently. But no harm, no foul there. He wasn't mad about it. But then I tuned into Steel Toe today, and we have so many Steel Toe clips, and we've done so many Steel Toe clips that I didn't bother. If you want to go watch, or I'm sure Doom or Real Media Player or one of these guys, Stalin 19, they will probably have this clip of Aaron talking about the interview over the weekend. And he mentions that the Aussie guy was a sniveling little girl and came crawling back to Aaron after the interview. He was on today and he's like, oh, yeah, the Aussie guy messaged me afterwards and he was like, hey, man, it's all WWE. I actually really respect you a lot. It's interesting how Aaron frames things. And so I reached out to the Aussie guy and he sent me exactly what he said. So I guess you be the judge of whether or not you criticize him for reaching out to Aaron after the show. My personal belief is this isn't really necessary, but to each their own. But let's hear what Dean had to say.
Yeah, so this is going to a Steel Toe Morning Show. Hey, man, respect to you for sticking around and jousting with me. I don't hate you, Aaron. I have my opinions, but I don't hate you. I saw an opportunity to do something to get a little exposure, and that was successful. I understand.
Okay, so hold on. I'll interrupt you once or twice here, just because Aaron said, he goes, oh, yeah, Dean reached out to me and was like, hey, man, I just did it all for exposure for my channel. I actually like you. That's not really what he's saying, right? He's saying like
No,
I don't have hate. I don't actually have hate for you. I knew this would be good for my channel. I don't know. Maybe to some people that'll seem disingenuous. To me, I kind of get what he's going for. I don't think this was necessary, and I probably wouldn't have done it because I've talked to the Aussie guy about Aaron, and I can tell he does kind of hate him. You know, hate might be the wrong word, but like Aaron annoys the shit out of him, obviously, from a content perspective. So I'm sure he doesn't have like legitimate hate in his heart for him. But like the Aussie guy was being honest with Aaron the other day. So I don't think this is necessary to kind of couch it with like, hey, we're just kind of guys being guys here, right? You know, but it does speak to what we talked about yesterday with Aaron framing the super chats. I don't even know if he's intentionally doing it, if he even knows he's doing it. Where I think Aaron lives in Aaron land and sees things the way he wants to see them. And when someone sends him a message like this, it means glowing positivity, another win for the toe.
Yeah, I just look at this as like an olive branch from one creator to another, just kind of clearing the air. Like, hey, we're content creators. Like, this is what we're supposed to be doing here, right?
I would say to Dean, like, Aaron was pretty shitty to you and didn't warrant this olive branch. It's not like Aaron took his licks like a pro, and it was just two guys talking, and then afterwards you shake hands. No, Aaron was being a complete cunt about it, and I didn't think the Aussie guy was, and I didn't think that it warranted the reaction that Aaron gave. So I actually don't think this message was necessary, but I mean, I'm not his fucking mother. I'm not telling him what to do. But just from my perspective, it does seem unnecessary.
Yeah, but as someone who doesn't know this Aussie guy at all, like me, I look at this and I go, well, that's a content creator with, with a backbone, with some self-respect. Like he'll have it out with you on the air, but then, he'll reach back channels and be like, hey, we're cool, right? Like, I think that's actually how you're supposed to work these things, not just actually hate the people and call fucking,
absolutely,
kids school and go down that road. This is actually how it's, I think, supposed to be done.
Yeah.
We're not professional. We don't know. But he goes on to say, I understand that you think it was shitty of me, and you're probably right. So he even acknowledges that. But we do what we do for entertainment, and I think we were very entertaining. Thank you for your time and good luck with everything. Yeah, I know you didn't like that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, we do what we do for entertainment, but you're also supposed to believe what you're doing,
Yeah. Well,
like that's the thing that I would say. I think it's very late or early in Australia. I don't know. So the Aussie guy can't come on with us at this time. But if he could, I would want to ask him, like, but you believe all that, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's not just shtick that you're doing. Because, like, every criticism I have of Aaron, I believe. And if he was on the show, I would present it to him in the same way. Like, the stuff with the goal, I find crazy. And I would probably focus on that more than the family stuff, like I do on the show. I'm not particularly interested in a lot of his family dynamics. But when Aaron brings them to the show, they are fodder for content. Like, if people find them ridiculous, they're more than welcome to talk about it. So I don't think he needs to go out of his way to say, like, hey, it's just for entertainment. Because then you see what it did today is it gives Aaron ammo to be like, see, no one actually thinks I'm wrong, and everyone thinks I'm great.
Yeah.
So that's a weird result that I don't think the Aussie guy was anticipating, which if he wasn't actually, shame on him, because I think he's watched Aaron long enough to know that this is the result, that Aaron would just spin it as another win for the toe. But that's the message. Like, you guys see it. He told us we could read it on the show. So I don't know. Make what you will of it, I suppose. Gang, leave it in the comments if you think the Aussie guy's a pussy.
I
we
think
got
he's
one.
just doing it so that Aaron will come on his show again.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Maybe, and that's probably smart, I guess. But my take on that even is like, well, then you are kind of lying to get him on the show. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, you're actually doing something that Aaron wrongly accused you of doing. If you're just like, hey man, it was all bullshit, why don't you come on the show and we'll have a fake fight about it? Then to me, he actually is doing something that Aaron accused him of. But like, I guess that's all I'm saying is the message was unnecessary. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think he said anything wrong, but it just it gave Aaron ammunition to be like, see, everything I do is fucking awesome.
You just hate to see when the toe wins, Mike, and the toe won that one. Got
Maybe
the
that's
W.
it. Maybe
Win for the
you know
toe.
what? Maybe I am guilty of that. Being a toe hater. Oh, my day is ruined because the toe won today.
You and RMO. Day's over. One super chat here. Go ahead, DJ.
Red 473, 499. If this is a work by Clay, this officially killed the payoff. It not worth looking dumber than John.
That's a good point. But you know what? I'll give him credit. If there is ever a payoff, I'll give him credit for swallowing his pride and letting John be the alpha for a minute.
Yes.
The problem with those is like the payoffs, they're never payoffs. It's just like, hey, I made John end his show early one day because I played porn. It's like, oh, nice.
They're like those gymnasts that do those giant flips and they get up in the air and they're like, oh shit, I got up here, now what? And they just faceplant most of the time. No medals for us.
Yeah.
Wait. So we're this one. We're going to Doom about steel toe and cats. I think is
Doom.
The next.
And by the way, that's at Doomspaya on YouTube.
Yep.
All right, and here we go.
Look, I'm going to believe it for two reasons. One, because I could see it, and two,
they're talking about the Haitian cat thing, I think is the concept.
Yes, that's been a big topic after the debates. Trump said they're all eating our cats and our dogs or whatever the fuck he said.
Look,
and they're talking about this. And gang, if you thought you knew edgelords before, brace yourselves. Because you're about to hear shock jockery. Like, if you thought the 90s were bad, baby, you're about to be, ooh, what's that I feel? That's an actual shock. I'm getting shocked by the Steel Toe Morning Show.
This one's going to make you angry, Electra. Hold on.
I'm going to believe it for two reasons. One, because I could see it. And two, it's really funny and I want it to be true. I don't care if Haitians want to eat cats and eat ducks. I don't care. If people want to stomp on a fucking cat's head and eat its essence, go for it. Just leave dogs alone. Haitian cats, Ohio.
I'm just gonna say though, if that happened to one of my cats, that person will not be doing well. 100 cats.
Run them over. Be a tough
Run
guy.
over his toes.
I agree with the sentiment, but what are you really gonna do?
If they get into baseball bat range, they're done for.
Do you know how hard it is to wrangle? Like, I don't know, but I certainly feel bad for the cats. That's not cool.
Oh God, I love dead cats. Dead cats are my favorite.
Whoa! Uh-oh! Someone sound the wacky alarm. No, it's not the right alarm. Jocularity is being had. Aaron is breaking the needle on the zany meter. Yeehaw!
There we go.
That's better.
I really, man, I have such an inability to feel anything warm towards cats. Like I'm right now in my head, I'm imagining a grown man taking a cat by the tail and swinging its head into a brick wall, and I feel nothing. Like, just think of the most horrific. Just think of the most horrific thing you could think to have happen to cats. That's like the way the Nazis were towards Jews.
Yeah,
that's the way I am towards cats. Where I'm like,
now that we've done it, I can't unsee the Chip Chipperson comparison. He's a sick fucking puppy. You know who Aaron? He doesn't like cats, but you know who he does worship? The devil. Aaron's a bad boy. This is so crazy because typically people think of cats as cute, cuddly creatures. So it's crazy to think the opposite. Listen to this edgelord.
Like I've dehumanized.
That's a sign of a problem.
Yeah, well, I've not dehumanized them, but I've like de-thingified.
Well, you should dehumanize them, Aaron. That's important.
That's. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
You should make sure that they are not human beings in your mind. That's very good.
I was going to say it was Freudian because he's dehumanizing him. He's like, I have to be dehumanized to think of this way towards these innocent creatures. Again, a goddamn mirror. Everything these people say is into a mirror, except it's a microphone.
I
think his brain just like, you know how in radio people used to think like, what'll get the phone lines cranking? Like I remember like gun control would be a big one, or I've heard Kirk say this before that like pit bulls are a hot button issue where if you talk about pit bull owners and ownership, like people shouldn't own pit bulls or whatever, the phone lines light the fuck up. So what Aaron is doing here, I think, is very similar to a radio instinct, where he's like, you know what I'll do? I'm going to say I want to step on cats' heads, and then people in the audience will super chat me to be like, "You're sick! Don't you kill my cat, Aaron!" Like he's just trying to be an over-the-top shock jock in hopes that people throw $2 at him.
Them where they're just an object, and you can do whatever you like. If a kid broke a nice glass dish, that would upset me more than if a kid cut a cat's throat.
That's a serious problem.
I don't think so. They're useless.
That's even worse.
I mean,
you think it's okay?
Honestly, cats.
And you were calling her.
Cats are vermin.
I know
These two have a strange dynamic because, again, like you could do something with this bit. Like clearly, Aaron doesn't actually want to kill kids. He's just doing it for shock value or whatever. Like this could go somewhere, but these two have an odd dynamic where I almost blame Johnny Crutches for this, where he is the straight man to the point where he genuinely doesn't find Aaron funny. It's not a back and forth like why I oughta kind of a straight man. It's Johnny Crutches being like, oh God, Aaron, why are you doing this? And I empathize with that feeling because that's how we all feel watching it. But poor Johnny Crutches, like you're supposed to go somewhere with Aaron on this rather than being like, Christ.
I mean, Aaron's not really holding up his end of the bargain here. The Abbott
No,
Costello
that's fair.
routine, like
That's
bashing
fair.
cats' heads in. Tag, you're it. What
if I shot him with a fucking bazooka?
Yeah, that would be horrible. You're an awful person. That's all you got. I mean, that's really all you can say.
What if I fucking ate him for lunch, Johnny? Oh, yeah, that'd be crazy.
I do think he does hate cats, though. I think that part, all this murder of cats, that's bullshit. But I do think he does hate cats because you can't control cats like you can't control wives. You understand? He has problems
cats
with
are the
things you
women
can't
of the pet community. That's
Yes.
true.
Well, I mean, imagine what
I have 4 cats, dude.
I know, and it's a mistake, but you're allowed. Look, you don't see me. I'm not going in anywhere and fucking like killing other people's cats. I'm just saying if I saw it happen in front of me, I would go, that affects my
and
day
I'm saying
zero.
you're a piece of shit for having that opinion.
And that's fine.
Whoa. Does that happen often?
Aaron's like, what if I fucking skin a cat and eat its skin for dinner? Whoa, man. Calm down.
But I'm not moving because, again, I could be walking down the street here in Springfield and a bunch of Haitians could pull up in fucking Joker masks and open up a van door and go, we're going to kill all these cats, or however they talk. And I would go, well, drive safe. Don't hurt anybody.
Damn, man. This is the weird thing Aaron's doing now where it's like he's being an edgy bit, but even in the bit, he's kind of a coward about it. He's like, I'm so fucking edgy, but I'm not actually going to go anywhere with this edginess. I'm just going to let other people in this imaginary world do the edgy things.
I just don't want to see any traffic deaths. That's all. That would make me sad.
Moving on. So, man sentenced 3 years kicking a cat. A
You know what I
Texas
mean?
man
Johnny's just like over it, which again, I don't blame Johnny for, but you feel bad for him that he's in a position of like, I don't have any interest in doing this fucking bit with you, Aaron.
Yeah, this guy's in the podcast hell right now.
been sentenced to more than 3 years in federal prison. Good. For kicking a cat. The cat was foaming at the mouth and convulsing and had as if it had been poisoned.
Aaron, I heard them today, and Aaron was like, do you really think... I saw you were critical of my cat bit, even though it was so great. Do you really think I'm going to kill these cats, man? And Johnny Crutches is like, no, it just annoys me that you talk about them like that. I like cats. It's weird to say you want to step on their heads. And Johnny's like, Aaron's like, but I say this all the time. And Johnny's like, yeah, I've never once found it funny. Like, their dynamic is weird, and I guess it's because that's just who will do a show with Aaron. But like, even Johnny doesn't seem to enjoy anything Aaron does. It's a strange lot in life he has now.
I'm starting to think Aaron does his show for like a 12-year-old boy. Someone who likes to beat up cats and talk bad to women and call everyone gay. And he literally is. That's his demo.
I don't know who he does his show for. I don't know if Aaron has like real interests because it seemed like when I first found out who Aaron was, it seemed like he had similar interests to like me. Like he was talking about like Stuttering John and Chad Zumach and shit. And I don't know if he was funny about it or what, but like it got him attention at a certain point. So it seemed like he enjoyed that. I think he just goes where the wind blows. Like that community didn't accept him. So now he's trying to be a radical, like political guy. I guess I hear him talking a lot of politics on that show. I don't know if that's what he's always done, but like there's never anything interesting or unique. It's just about getting to that goal, which we are getting to, I believe.
Oh, Mike, if you caught a charge, oh, this show would blow up, baby. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, that's options out there for you.
Interesting. I'll consider.
Now I don't want to see the video. Williams did not render or try to procure aid for the cat, but instead kicked it as if kicking a field ball. Yeah. Kick was recorded by another man, the Curious Meyer, who encouraged Williams to kick the cat. Prosecutor said Myers posted the video to social media. Meyer was sentenced last year to 18 months in prison. Yeah, fuck both of you.
I guess Aaron's doing the cool thing where he doesn't care.
This appears to be from Johnny's podcast, where he's just by himself. The Game Over podcast?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So he talks about it later, I think. Yeah, later in the day.
Yeah. Aaron hates cats. And if Aaron did that, I think he should be in prison.
Well, he's probably going to end up there, it seems.
And if I was on the show with him, and if it wasn't clear enough, last time, where I literally looked at him, I'm like, dude, I have 4 cats. Like, I've played along with it because I know how he talks about pit bulls, but I know for a fact that there's a pit bull he's been nice to.
The fuck are we doing,
The cat
Johnny?
thing is becoming an issue for me. So if he, like, really starts doing that and leaning in, I'm going to lean in and calling him an utter piece of irredeemable human shit.
Yeah. Look, talk like that makes me wonder if Johnny's just looking for a reason to get it the fuck out of there. If he's like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to be loyal to this guy, but like, if he just if he gives me an excuse, I just want to call him human garbage.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Johnny's realizing it, and he's doing that ethical thing of like, well, he pays me $500. Is my soul worth $500? Well, it's getting close to being. Yeah.
The lines people have are interesting. Like headbutting a woman doesn't do that to some people, but it's like don't speak ill of cats.
Well, I hate to say Johnny's right on that, on the scale of importance, but cat will never like up and leave you and take half your money. So
I don't agree with this talk, Electra. Don't listen to him.
Electra, you there? We got 2 super chats, and then it's goal time, baby.
Oh, good. Well, while we get to our goal.
Yes. All right, she is not there. Craig's gone again, William S. says, for $5. Mike, I can solve your Craig problem for you. Just say yes, or act like you don't want me to. I'll know what you mean.
Oh, interesting.
Yes,
Interesting.
yes. And then
I'll consider that.
we got Bueller for $4.99.
Oh, I haven't seen him in a while. Hello, Bueller. An original Patreon member, I believe, back in the old days.
Excellent. Mike trying to sabotage Craig as producer with these obscure live show hours. He was on the show yesterday.
That's not true. He was here yesterday.
Yeah,
I try with Craig, and he just doesn't like us anymore. He's moved on to bigger and better things with Rubbed Out.
No, that's not true. Craig is always part of the team. He'll be back, I'm sure, this weekend. If not, I'll be here. But Craig is 1A, I'm 1B. It will always be that way. We love Craigers. All right. Up next, goal, baby. It's goal time.
Right. So I think I mentioned this yesterday, but Real Media Player does a thing called Only Goals, where it is astonishing because he takes only mentions of the goal. So when Aaron goes into plug mode throughout the show and says, Streamlabs, PayPal, Rumble Rants, all that good stuff, you know him, you love him. When he does that, Real Media Player clips it and compiles it into 1 day's worth of goal talk. And so this is from Thursday's show, 4.5 hour show. And The entire compilation is half an hour. Meaning half an hour, and I don't know if he does every single mention of it or just the ones he finds funny, but at the very least, of a 4.5 hour show, half an hour of it, a full segment, is dedicated to the goal. That's a tremendous amount of talk to do to suggest people pay you. Like, we haven't done it once today, and we probably made less than Aaron does, but I have my dignity intact, thank God.
It's priceless.
So let's see the latest edition. Well, not this is from the end of last week. It's the last goal of the week, so that's very exciting. When you end your week, you want to go out on a high note. So you guys probably had your wallets out on Thursday because, hey, on Rumble Fridays, not all platforms get to contribute to the goal. So this is very exciting.
Yes, this first one's called Donation Suggestion.
Oh, yeah, in case you guys didn't know, like, what a fun way to donate would be, here are some options.
Yes, and thank you, Real Media Player.
Yes.
$2.95 is our number today. The evening show people went $50 ahead for you. That's very cool. Very nice. Let's see if we can get to $200 by 8 o'clock. Already people have thrown in on Rumble. Already people have thrown in on YouTube. Let's see if we can christen PayPal and Venmo right now. Let's see who wants to be the first one.
That'd be fun. Venmo hasn't donated yet. I was going to give on YouTube, but when you've presented that idea, Aaron, I think that could be so much fun, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be neat to go over to Venmo and give instead of YouTube? What is he doing?
On PayPal and Venmo, we can go. You can go as low as $1. You can go as high as $100. How about a couple hundo?
Am I allowed, Aaron? I'm gonna have to check with my bank. Am I allowed to give out $100? I've never spent that much on anything before. Am I? Are you sure that's cool with everyone if I give you $100? Because I've been giving you 5 at a time because I was like, well, obviously they're not going to let me. Aaron's not going to accept more than that. But now I'm hearing you say you'll accept $100. Aaron, if you really mean it, then I've got a crisp pundy for you, my friend. I've just been hanging on to it all this time.
No pieces to start off the day. I'm not against that. Who thinks they've got a hundo just sitting around where they're like, you know what? Give it to the poor bastard. I'm okay with it. And then we're good until 9 o'clock with a hundo piece.
Oh, man. Or if I give 100 right now, we can just take a breather till 9? Holy shit. Aaron, I got to tell you, that takes a lot off my plate. My morning is jam-packed. And I got to tell you, that would give me a little breathing room.
Don't sit too long, though, because that goal for the morning is going to come right back up and bite you in the ass. You can't rest. You can only nap. No sleep.
Here's what's interesting, though. For those of you that don't know what time he does his show or anything, he starts at, I think, 6 Central Time. So 7 here on the East Coast. And so 9 o'clock, I assume he means his time. That means we have another hour of the goal left. So what Aaron's saying is if you give 100 now, that knocks 100 off. So we can take a couple hours off. But then at 9 o'clock, then we got to start thinking about the goal again. You can take a breather for a little bit, but make sure you come back at 9 because we're going to need to hit that goal still.
Jesus Christ.
Somebody's got a 50 piece, then we can do 2 of them. It really doesn't matter. Do it together. But we've knocked out.
Whoa. Now I'm a little. Aaron, I don't know what you want from me. I can give $100, but you're saying you'll also accept 50 from 2 people. That's interesting now because I was thinking this would cost me 100 bones. But if I call my buddy Casey Day and I say, Casey, you got to get on Venmo right now and send Aaron a quick 50. I'm giving 50. You give 50. That's a $50 savings for each of us, buddy.
Electra, get up here. We need $33.33 from you.
Guys, we're losing money not doing this.
Rumble's been started. YouTube's been started. Let's start PayPal. Let's start Venmo. Links are in the chat. Thank you, guys. Last goal of the week. It's the last one. Oops, I accidentally just set a plus sign in the chat by pounding.
You goose. This show's so raw and real. I didn't realize he was communicating with the chat while this was going on.
I guess there's a new feature, Mike. It's the next one.
Ooh, okay. So this is exciting. This is, we've talked about this before. How can you enhance the goal, restructure it, make it maybe more entertaining for the audience? And Aaron has stumbled upon what I think is a really brilliant and innovative idea that definitely no one has thought of before.
180 away from today. Let's keep knocking it down. You guys are the best. Last goal of the week. You guys were hammering out a shitload of it in the first hour and a half.
Oh,
I really
we had our hard hats on. We're just knocking away at that fucking goal. Come on, gang. Let's get in there. Earlier we do this, earlier we take off to lunch. What do you say?
Keep her coming, and we'll call this thing another win for the toe. Oh, we have our goal clip now.
Huh?
Our Andres Cantor drop. We finally have. So when the goal finally does get hit to
the Andres Cantor. So he stole the goal drop from us, Mike. That was our drop. We had that first.
No. He was thinking of it before that. He just wasn't ready to implement it yet.
I love that he watched your goal show and was like, I got ideas off this. Let's implement them.
I like to think that he stole that from us, but I will say, it's kind of unbelievable that a guy does a goal every day and didn't think of that at some point.
It's so obvious. It was like 10 seconds popped in my head. Oh, you're obviously going to use this.
Yeah.
But we did it first. It's ours, baby. We should strike him. That's ours. We are the goal show that uses that, not you.
Today.
Yeah.
My CGI budget.
Let me get my money real quick. That was so cool how he did that.
Game changer. It's a total game changer. I was thinking like a super tip system, like some system he invented. He just got a sample.
now someone else says goal also.
I swear to God, if there's a rally monkey coming up, I'm going to fucking St. Cloud, Minnesota, and beating this fool's ass.
There you go. See?
Now don't you want to give to the goal? Huh? Now aren't you excited to give money?
Got me.
If you will. So 180. We'll hammer it out. Yeah. Call it another win for the toe.
Oh, without a doubt, Aaron. Absolutely, that's what we'll call it.
Douche chills on that one. All right, end of the week blues is what this one's called.
Oh man, well here's the thing: it's like you guys know when you get to Thursday and you consider it the end of the week. You know how all you guys work for a living, and you're like, Thursday, it's quitting time. Well, here's the thing: is like sometimes on Thursdays when you're ready to knock off for the weekend, you're not quite there yet, and it's troubling, quite frankly.
180 bucks away from knocking out today. Could you guys do a favor? You guys were well under 200 by fucking 7 o'clock today. You guys are awesome. Could we rally up one more time here?
Hold on. Let me get Clay Dabbler on here to do some quick math. They're at 180. You guys got well under 200. What am I missing?
Well, he counted on his fingers. That was a lot of fingers, Mike. So many fingers.
That's true. That is 4 hands. Yes. What am I missing here? That 180 is well under 200? I never understand Steel Toe's equations where he's like, we're within spitting distance. This is doable, guys. I don't understand. It's all doable. So what does any of it mean then?
Imagine Good Will Hunting with just him as the Will character, just writing 200 is less or greater than 180 on the board.
Minus 20. For years, YouTubers have been looking for chalkboard. Like, what the hell?
It's not your fault, Steel Toe. It's not your fault, Steel Toe.
Under $100 by 9 o'clock. That would be great. 180 away. It's our final goal of the week. Last one. Let's call it a successful week for the old toe, especially that debate stream. You guys were so generous. Thank you so much. Let's rally it up one more time and finish it off.
That's ultimately right there is why I spend so much time on the goal and why it frustrates me as much as it does. You guys were so generous the other night. But come on, let's go. Back to it. Back to being generous. Come on, let's go. You were no. I'm so grateful. You were so amazingly generous last night. Okay, you heard me say that. Now let's get back to being generous. What do you say, guys? Come on.
It's like that famous saying: "Time to lean, time to donate."
Abs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble rants. Think we can get, we have what, 5 gifted subs so far today? Think we can get to 20 again? Anybody want to drop
believe,
some
Aaron. I think we can do it.
Ships get to 20 new ones like we did yesterday. That'd be all right. 170 away from today. Guys, can we rally it up, please? That would be awesome. We are 7 minutes away from 9 o'clock. I know I said I'd like to be at 100 by 9. We're kind of settling into a pattern. We fucking crush it.
I love
early
this.
on in the
I love
day,
this when
and
he
then we
breaks
go through
down
this
the game
long
film where he notices a trend, and here's what the greats do: is they study the tape. And Aaron has noticed a pattern that every day there's a similarity happening. That guys, you get out to a banging start, but here's the thing: you rest on your laurels a little bit. Let me tell you an old adage about the tortoise and the hare. That's what you guys are doing. Is you're getting out to a hot start, and then you're thinking you can just coast the rest of the day. And Coach Imholt is saying, that's not the case, guys. Let's keep up that effort, Let's go. Come on. Keep up that effort. 4.5 hours. That ain't too bad. Let's go.
Your donations show me you know how to donate, so let's just keep pressing the pedal forward, baby.
That's right. Yeah, guys, you've proven you can do it. Now you just need some consistency.
Yes.
A pattern. We fucking crush it early on in the day, and then we go through this lull around 9 o'clock. I don't know if I start getting long-winded or what. But
Aaron, I appreciate you blaming yourself, but this is on us, buddy. I appreciate you lumping yourself into this, but it ain't you. I understand the superstar is just as important as the last guy on the bench, but this is on us, buddy.
Apologize if I am. Let's see some financial results here. Again, it's the last goal of the week. Last time I have to bother you about it. So let's rally it up. Knock out 170. We got about a little over an hour to do it. I would really appreciate it. $170 is the number. Please.
Who is Aaron talking to in his mind when he's like, hey, you know what we do, guys? This is all of our problem. What we do is we get out to a hot start, but then we kind of we're too relaxed after that. What is he referring to? Does he think people give so he wants people to give multiple times throughout the day, right? That's what he's asking.
Right. Yes.
He wants you to give at 6 a.m. and then 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and 9 a.m.
Right. Even the goddamn church only asks once, Aaron. Come on.
Right. Otherwise, who are you talking to? If people are watching your show, this is a podcast. It's not radio where it's a new audience every 15 minutes. You're asking virtually the same people. I understand it's live, so new people might pop in and out. But ultimately, you're talking to the same people, and it's the same people every day, and saying, hey, guys, keep donating. And that's why it's so crazy that he got mad at the Aussie guy the other day. I think it's a perfectly valid question to say, Aaron, you're asking people every single day to donate. Is there not a better way? And Aaron's answer is always well, this is the model we have to do. What do you mean have to? You've decided that. You've chosen this. There are other things you could do. Remember when we played last week, Aaron discovered advertising. He learned about it. It's taken a while to implement, it seems.
Yes, apparently he didn't get that final number that he thought he was going to get for that ad read.
Yeah, it turns out Rumble doesn't pay $1,000 an ad like he thought it would.
No, it doesn't pay shit. Although Blind Mike will soon be on Rumble. That's an announcement I'm making for us today.
Oh wow!
Once I get Craig to answer me, we'll get him up on Rumble.
He's a tough guy to pin down.
He is. Too many skirts right now for him. All kinds welcome is this next clip.
Oh well, it got some of you might be a little older. My generation, typically a little more progressive, and so we know this. But you older guys out there, you might think there's a no colored sign above the goal where Some of these people aren't allowed. In my day, some of these people weren't allowed to donate. But times are different now.
Need rallies. It's 9 o'clock. We got to get that last goal knocked out for today. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats. We appreciate every contribution you give this show. Let's load it up. Hey, man, if you got a hundo, I'll take a hundo. I'm not proud. You got a 50 spot? I'll take a 50. You got small bills? Small bills work here as well. Just go ahead and click one of those links.
Aaron, it's all digital. No, none of us have cash on us that we're handing you.
If you got change that goes jingle jangle, drop it in the cup.
But here's what's maddening about this. And I hope I've done a decent job proving it by continuing to talk about this fucking goal. And if it seems repetitive, I'm obsessed with the volume of it. Where it's like, this is every day. Last week, we just picked the day before. This is Real Media Player choosing last Thursday as a day. He does, like, if you look at that channel, I don't know if he does every single show, but he does a good deal of them, where there's a lot of videos titled Only Goals, where it's Aaron every single day doing this and telling us we're allowed to give 50. We're allowed to give 100 if we want. Who's not aware of that, Aaron? Who is this message for?
Maybe his audience is in North Korea. We're just not discounting the fact that these people may not be able to, so he just motivates them.
Aaron represents freedom to some people.
Yes.
Oh, what a benevolent leader. We're allowed to donate whatever we want to him.
Yes. I do see those NOKs sometimes. I think that might be North Korea. Just saying.
Go ahead and help us knock this 165 down because we have an hour to do it. And we're a little bit behind. We always start ahead for the day. You guys are always great at the beginning. And then we have this lull period, and I get really nervous and sweaty, and my legs start bouncing all over the place. I'm holding them upright at the moment just so I can keep them from bouncing and being all nervous.
He's holding his legs?
I don't know.
Is that visible on the screen?
No, nothing. He's kind of just looking down. But that's the same formula for his wife's. Starts out great, and then he chokes him out, and it all goes downhill from there.
Aaron's legs are shaking, doing what he does every single day. Like, that should tell you it's not healthy. Literally, Aaron, this goal is taking a tax on you that is going to have damage for years to come.
They should, like, the local university should come out and put all those stickers and wires and, like, while he does the goal and measure his heart monitor and his blood pressure and all that just to see what the goal does to you.
Your health is worth something, Aaron.
All right, this one's called Challenges Begin.
Oh, okay. So this is an indication to me that you guys might be able. Remember when, like, Stuttering John was putting on hats and
yes, don't we
money?
all? Don't we
like,
all?
John, change your shirt for $20, and he would go do it. And like King Cobra's the guy we talk about on Who Are These Socials? He'll eat stuff for money and all that. Like, I think Aaron is entering that territory. It's early. This is a very gentle signal, but I think he's entering that territory, maybe.
Yeah, it's stunt boy land is what I like to call it. He's entering stunt boy land.
Maybe, yeah.
That would be fun.
The doctors can't stop it. Lab Glass with $50 says, all right, fatty, we take 40 of that. Thank you, Lab Glass. So now I can't eat on air for the rest of the month.
Hold on. We'll get to that ridiculous sentence in a second. We take 40 of that. Shouldn't Aaron, in theory, if he's reducing the cut that, like, YouTube takes or whatever, shouldn't he also on the fly take out taxes?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Why not expenditures? What are you going to buy? Well, that's going to be a chicken sandwich, so I'm going to take that off too.
Like, right. Like, shouldn't he take out everything? Like, if we're counting profit, then I think that a lot more should go into this goal. I'm gonna suggest that the goal needs to be higher. I don't want to tell Aaron how to do his job, but now, so, like, they've told him, Aaron. I guess Aaron was eating a banana on air. It was very disgusting. I'm not usually one that gripes about people eating on air, but the way he was chewing into the microphone was pretty tough. And people were like, "Hey, here's $50. You're not allowed to eat on the show anymore." I wonder what that could lead to. Like, if you're able to get Aaron to do even something small like that, I wonder what the next step of that is at this point.
Also, if he reversed it and he's like, the goal is $200 in taxes, and then he just divides it up. Well, I got $30 in taxes. So every day you're doing a goal to pay taxes.
Right.
And you wouldn't care about how much he makes. You could do this in a way that would be fun.
Knock out today's goal in regulation. I can't eat on air for the rest of the year.
Wow.
Deal.
How exciting. It does. I will say one thing that frustrated me there. He refers to it as regulation. Like, I guess the show, like, he talks about it like sports. So, like, this is regulation time that we're in. But we get to hit overtime soon. Isn't that fun?
Yes. This one's called Rally Time.
Oh, boy. All right. So guys, buckle up here. We've been goofing around and having a good time. Now, this separates the men from the boys here. We're getting into rally time.
Can't be dishonest about that. But we'll get to that story during overtime. And doctors have discovered a man whose penis is literally turning into a bone. This can happen.
Oh, my God. I bet there's so much more to talk about than exactly what you just said.
Dick can calcify, and it can basically turn into like a bony thing. But we're not going to hear either of these.
I was searching dicks on Google last night, and this story just popped up. Like, how do you find that story?
Or
hold on. Well, it's Casey. I hope you don't want to know too badly, because we're not going to talk about these unless we hit that fucking goal.
Oh shit!
Now I know you know. Now we know that a penis can calcify, I guess, and just become perpetually hard. Not the type of hard you want, I assume. But we won't get to hear Aaron's take unless we fucking pony up. So dust off those wallets, you cheap pricks.
If we don't do the overtime, I'll never know. I'm going to walk around my whole life thinking my cock's going to turn to a bone because I didn't hear the end of this story. Aaron, come on.
Not only that, you'll know that's possible now. Aaron has teased us with that. But you'll always wonder, what did Aaron think about that story? Did he think that was crazy that could happen? Or did he think it was pretty normal? You know what? Just for peace of mind, to put my mind at ease, I'm going to assume that Aaron's take on the bone hardening story was that it's pretty normal for dicks to calcify. I bet that happens all the time. That's what Aaron would have said, probably.
Other 4 or 5 stories that we've got ready for overtime, unless we knock out the last goal of the week.
Yes!
$80 away. There's all the links. Here we go, guys. 5 minutes away.
Hold on real
Streamlabs.
quick. Hey, I have the luxury of pausing here. I'm not living in the fast-paced world of the goal that Aaron is right now. I can pause and say, gang, give ourselves a round of applause here. We chipped away from $170 to $80 in the course of, I don't know, an hour. That's pretty. We did it, guys.
That's amazing.
Yeah, good for us.
PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats,
we
Rumble
know.
Rants. I got
We know.
5 minutes of begging in me, and hopefully that's enough to get this $80 knocked out, and we can do an extra half hour and call it a successful.
Okay, so now we're getting into the crunch time, right?
Yep, this one's called Keep the Lights On.
Oh, yeah. So this is Aaron telling us, like, guys, you know what? We don't have to hit the goal today. Yeah. How you feel about that? Well, let's not, you know what? Let's not hit the goal. And I guess no more ice cream for anyone. Aaron punishes us. He's going to take away our dessert if we're not good boys and girls.
For the toe. Let's get in there. $30 away from getting it extended on credit, which has been your guys' thing lately. 75 away.
That is our
from
thing. I
hammering it
get
out.
off on that when we get to $50, which is the credit zone that he's talking about. Oh, do I get fucking rock hard thinking about that? Oh man, do I get off just thinking, oh, we got $50 away and he still counts it, that motherfucker. Oh, he has no idea what he's doing. We fleeced this cocksucker. We got $50 away from the goal, and we still get overtime because I'm a greedy little pig that needs that bone densening story.
Calling it a win. We're so close. I'm already rally hasn't started yet. We got 3.5 minutes left, so it's been a minute and a half in, and the rally hasn't super started. So now it's sweat and gravy time. Now I'm getting nervous. It's
The
so
rally
close.
hasn't
It's such a
super
small-
started. It started, but I'm not willing to say it's super started yet.
It's in pre-promotion.
All fucking amount. I just want to win for the week. I just want to have a good fucking week of Steel Toe shows. I just want to make the fucking that last 75 that little bit we need.
This is the alpha, by the way, that was in the room with the Aussie guy the other day that we heard. This is the fuck you, Dean, I'm the man guy that walked in and
Rat
just
fuck,
fucking
piece of shit.
hit the milk off the trays of the Aussie guy and Husey. This is the big bad bully that was in the other day going, oh, pretty please, I just need to go. Oh my God, I need it so bad, please.
12-year-old boys. That's who his audience is, I'm telling you.
Johnny and Matt around and the lights on and all that shit.
Well, that was the thread, by the way. Can we go back a few seconds?
Yeah.
I just want to hear the thread again, where it's like, well, guys, I guess all your friends go bye-bye if you don't donate. There goes Johnny out on the streets. Matt read along with him. We will turn the lights out on you, motherfuckers, if you don't give to the goal.
Last 75, that little bit we need to keep Johnny and Matt around and the lights on and all that shit.
What is this tone he's doing? Oh, I just need... We've heard him. That's not how he talks.
Yeah, it's like his version of baby voice to get us. He's sweetening us up. He's sweetening us up, you know.
But he was the cool guy. Remember, he doesn't need any of us. He thinks we're all fucking losers. You heard him. Anyone that like criticizes him, which is, by the way, the majority of people super chatting him, I think. And if you criticize him, you're gay. You're one of those gays, those nasty gays that he hates so much. So why is he all of a sudden like, oh, I need the gold. I need it so bad. Come on. Just $75. Just give me 75. Oh, yeah, that's it. Just $75. Oh, you're making it feel so good for me.
It's important to have goals in your life, Mike. And this man has found his goal, and he's just sticking to it, I think. That's all.
I appreciate it.
Like it.
Panic time, because it doesn't look like we're going to get there.
So now we're in nut kicking time. This is when we really gotta sack up here.
Wow, 2 ball references in 1 sentence. Amazing, Mike. You're fucking genius.
55 away from knocking it out today. We can do it. $55 left. Woo. What is it? 2 minutes. 2 minutes away. $55 is the goal. The last goal of the week. Hammer it out. Help us out. Be a steel toe hero.
I like the promotion of the last goal of the week, because me at home, that makes me think like, oh, I don't have to give to this guy till Monday. Oh, well then here's $55. Let's smash this thing out right now. Enough said.
Minute and a half. Come on.
It was just 2 minutes. How did time move that quick?
Minute and a half. It's panic time. Get it going.
That was dangerous. It was panic time. I was taking a sip of water. I could have died.
Don't choke, Mike. We need you.
Video says, don't spend all of this with Officer Munson at a single Denny's. How am I going to be able to? We're not going to remember what we ordered. Thank you for the $5. Come on. It's doable. 1 minute away. 1 minute. All right, guys.
That's how every wife described Aaron when they first met him. It's doable.
Guys, 1 minute left. Come on. Finish her off. Help us out. Steffi with 10 gifted memberships.
Oh, you nasty bitch.
$30 away. And guess what? We got over 20 new memberships today. Thank you, Steffi, very much.
Yes!
$30 away. 30 seconds left.
Whoa.
What? Wait, is that what?
Hold on a second. What did I miss? Am I wrong? I thought we were $55 away, right?
Yeah.
And Steffi gave what? $10?
10 members or 20
memberships.
10
memberships.
Yeah.
So that's $50, no?
Yeah, it's right at the doorstep. Maybe like $5-10 away. Not what he just said, like $50 away.
He said 30, I think. I don't know. It's also confusing.
Oh my God.
Goal math is more interesting to me than dabbler math, I think. Yes. It's all very difficult.
I think he's learned something here, though. Once you get that money in, if you just reset to a different number, no matter what that number is, people aren't going to know. They're not going to, what was it at? What is it now? They're just going to look what it's at now. He's figured something out here.
Yes. Now, if the goal has 8 beers in 3 hours.
DUI.
Thank you, Steffi, very much. 30 bucks away, 30 seconds left. We're getting overtime on credit, but how about for once this week, we knock out that last little bit?
How about for once this week, you don't humiliate yourselves?
Credit.
How about you guys, for once, don't disappoint me?
The credit thing is, that's just one too many layers of stupid for me. Like,
credit is great. Well, you said it at the beginning of this, where he started with like, guys, the evening show was pretty generous to you guys, huh? It's the same people. It's the same.
Same housewives and 12-year-olds just looking at each other.
Before regulation ends, $30 away. All the links are in the chat. Those gifted memberships look pretty. All right, here we go. Final 10 seconds coming. Here comes the countdown. 10.
The evening show, morning show thing is like if I made my girlfriend like pay for breakfast, and then at night we went to dinner, and I was like, "Morning crew is really sweeping me off my feet." Maybe you cover this meal, so you could kind of make up for what the morning crew is doing. It's the same. What are you talking about? It's the same person.
It's more like she paid for like all your morning and then like 10% of your night. So when you got to your night, you're like, well, you only have to pay for 90% now because I paid 10% this morning.
The morning crew is really treating me like a lady, and I think you could do more to keep up with them here at night.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. You've got it to 30. I'm sweating gravy.
But that's not enough.
I want to play the sound drop. I want to call it a win for the week.
Oh, that's the other thing, guys. You're missing out. He wants to play the sound drop. He hasn't gotten to play the goal soccer call yet.
Finish it off, boys and girls. Finish it off.
Imagine if we held that again, like if someone in the chat was like, Mike, you got to play. What's the announcer's name? The soccer announcer. You got to play him. Whatever it is. You got to play him saying goal. And I was like, just $30 more.
To hear a sample you can hear in 100 places on YouTube.
Yeah, just search goal on YouTube and that probably comes up.
But look at my face when it happens. That's what you're missing out on if you don't do it here. This one's called Teamwork.
Okay, well, this is we all got to band together here. Enough dicking around. You know, you guys that give $100, you think you're the stars. Us that give $2 at a time, we think we're really, we're doing the fundamentals. We're playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. We all got to come together. Enough dick measuring. Let's be a team.
Yeah. Speaking of which, last night we did unboxing Eric. Eric measured his penis 5.1 inches, Mike, just so you know.
Well, we're not pulling a Eric the Midget here, all right? No more measuring. We've got a goal to hit.
Everything has been under $50 today, by the way. That means you guys have chipped in and done this as a team. I appreciate that. That is awesome. Now just $25 left in this next half hour. Guys, let's team up and knock out the rest of it. We're giving you overtime on credit today. $25 away from the rest of the goal. It's a tiny little amount. Let's all team up and knock it out and call it a win.
Imagine your credit score goes down like 80 points, and you're like, what the hell happened? Oh, shit. We missed 2 goals this week. Oh, damn it. I forgot.
Can't get that house now. Got to wait till the next cycle. Fuck.
Please, pretty please with cherries on top. I don't really give a shit about the Tyreek Hill thing, do you? Let's open up the rest of these overtime stories. Let's also knock out.
For anyone that didn't watch this episode, Aaron teased the Tyreek Hill thing as an overtime topic. And then he's like, who gives a fuck about it?
He's like, yeah, your dick could turn to rock. We don't really care. More goal. 20 away.
$25. I'm dying to get that last goal knocked out. And then tomorrow for Rumble Friday, you guys will just throw in a bunch of $5 links and we'll make a shitload of money.
What? Hold on.
Guess the week's not over.
I thought this was the last goal of the week.
Non-Rumble goal, Mike. Come on, keep up.
That's a great way. That's a great way, by the way, of doing that. And then tomorrow, you guys will all just give me $5. Don't you know what? Don't even worry about it. Don't worry. Why are you acting like you're cutting us a deal here? No. I'm saying this is the last goal of the week, and then tomorrow you come in, you give me $5. It's no big deal. Each of you gives me $5, and there's no goal. It's not. That's the cool thing. Is like you don't have to give me any money. You just show up, you give me $5, and that's whatever.
Yeah, come on, chill out.
I'll call it a good old successful week for your friends here at Steel Toe. Thanks, guys. Throw into that
You're
PayPal,
welcome.
that Streamlabs, that Rumble Rants and everything.
We're at our last chance, Mike.
Oh man, I don't want to go out of the week a loser, because then I got to show up tomorrow and give Aaron $5 with shame on my face. I'd like to do that a winner.
And we're not going to start off Monday any good if we're this deep in the hole over the weekend, people. Come
That's
on.
the other thing. The morning crew, if this isn't them already, is going to be so pissed on Monday.
All right, last chance. Last clip is
25 to go. Finish it off. Streamlabs, PayPal, Rumble Rants, Venmo. Can't miss. Can't miss goals. We got put behind, unfortunately, due to circumstances
Here's
beyond our...
where we do a retrospective on the goal. Now, guys, this is the part of the Jerry Lewis telethon where we get serious. We've had a lot of laughs today, but
he should have pictures of himself earlier in the show talking about the goal right here in this part, like a little self-fun,
Yeah, just pictures of Aaron with like an empty plate. Aaron with his pockets turned inside out.
Here's when we were 55 away.
Now, I just want to say this one thing, because, gang, we've had a lot of fun here, but some situations beyond my control. And if you don't know what those are, the situations beyond my control is on air. I sent revenge porn to Gino Bisconti. That was totally out of my control. I couldn't. What am I supposed to do about that? Me texting someone a picture of somebody and doing it publicly and telling everyone about it. How would I control that?
Daddy did pretty well for himself there, I gotta say, though.
So this is where, Aaron really takes accountability and says it's our fault that the goal isn't getting hit in September.
Control. So we got to get down to 0 every day, because that's our break-even point, is that 0 number. So knock it out. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We got up over the gifted memberships that we wanted. That was really cool. That doesn't mean you have to stop sending them.
I gotta say, even as a hater, that was big. When we did that, it was like, okay, now we're doing something here. Hey, maybe we don't hit the goal, but we're not. It's like the Patriots yesterday. Like I'm watching that game and I'm disappointed. They lost in overtime, and that hurts me a little. But then I'm saying, you know what? No one thought we'd even be in this. And that's something to build on. So, like, hitting that membership goal, that's something, guys. That's getting to overtime against the Seahawks.
It's like a Hall of Fame speech he's given about the day.
The day.
Man. But let's get everybody in there, man. Let's knock out that last 25, and then we can play our sound drop. That would be fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, I forgot about the sound. I want to hear that so badly.
I would like that. Little pricks. Guys, thank you very much. What an awesome day. Thank you. Another win for the Toe. Not only that, we also knocked out every goal for the week. Tomorrow we're going to celebrate with some Rumble Friday. $5 links, $10 immediate, $20 complete.
Oh, so the $5 is just a buy-in. You can get 10 or 20. God damn, this guy is fucking great.
Wait, a buy-in? What's happening? You have
I
to
don't
pay
know.
to get him on Rumble?
Yes, well, you can buy 5, 10, or let's listen to the end here again.
Okay.
Knocked out every goal for the week. Tomorrow we're going to celebrate with some Rumble Friday. $5 links, $10 immediate, $20 complete.
What does that mean? Oh, God, I have to do more research. God damn it.
I swear I bought a timeshare from this guy. I swear I have.
If one of these guys, if someone on here can just tell me what this is so I don't have to look into it. What the fuck does that mean? Because now what I'm obsessed with is overtime. Because for a while, I thought overtime was just like you cruise through the stories you didn't get to. I didn't realize he kept begging in overtime. Now, what's this Rumble Friday business where we're paying for links?
Link, the $10 was like partial, and then the 20 was full.
$5 links, $10 immediate, $20 complete. I believe is what he said, right?
What is that? Those are just words.
So
I've watched a lot of the podcasts. I've never heard any of those words in that order.
Do you know Rumble jargon at all? Is that a Rumble thing I'm not aware of? We'll have to ask Cardiff.
I have maybe it's a unlisted video, and like so he sends private links if you send him $5. That's the only thing.
Can't imagine anyone is paying $20 for that fucking episode on Fridays. I can't imagine that's the case.
And he straight up lies, like, goal's done, here's more. Well, I guess there's no goal to this. You can just give. So that's the difference, right? The last goal is Friday. You can give forever. You know?
So on Fridays, we just let our hair down.
Yeah.
And we let our hair down and have to pay a fucking 2-drink minimum.
This guy's got it figured out. What? I don't know. But he seems to be making $500 a day, give or take 50 a show. So, I mean.
God, the layers to this goal. It never ends. Now there's a Friday element that we have to look into. I'm glad you said that because I didn't even catch that at the end there.
Yeah, we got to know what that. I'm keeping my eye on chat, but no one. People sent him links and they pay him to look at them. Okay, so he will. Okay, I get it. So it's kind of like you sit on, make me laugh, sort of thing. So for $5, you can send a link to Aaron. He'll watch it on the air. For $10, he'll send something that's not complete, but the $20 one will give you a complete video.
I think I got it now. $5, he'll play the link at some point. $10, he'll play it immediately the second he sees it. $20, he'll play the full video no matter what. Right? Do I have that right?
It's got to be it. We figured it out. We did it.
Holy shit! What a grift that is.
That's just, I don't have any ideas. I'm not preparing for a show. Send me your bits for a show.
All right, Aaron, here's $20 and I found video of your mother doing a porn. It's like, what? You just play anything? You are literally a whore, Aaron.
Yeah, that is some funny
Wait,
stuff.
so people must...
I want to see that show now. I want to see. Can we allocate some money out of the budget for that show, Mike? Is what I'm saying. Because if he's gonna play anything, we got some videos for him.
This is gonna be like my gambling addiction. Every Friday, I'm just gonna be sending this fucker $20, trying to make a fool of him.
And the worst thing is not even going towards the goal, Mike. That is gold. That is not goal money. So you're just working against ourselves here.
That's crazy. I'm going on with Carl in a little bit. I have to see if he knows about that. That's wild.
Yes. Oh, that's it. That's all we got, Mike. We're good to get out of here.
All right, guys. Did you get enough content this week? I know it's been a lot of Aaron lately. People seem to enjoy the steel toe stuff. Let me know if there's people that want to break from it. But it seems like people are enjoying it as much as I am. So maybe we'll continue. Maybe we'll take a break. We'll see how entertaining Aaron is over the next week. But no matter what, next week, at some point, we'll be back with something. I don't know if we'll be able to do a Sunday show. We might actually be able to pull it off next week, but I will keep you guys abreast as the week goes on. And the best way to know is by tapping that notification bell. If you are watching on YouTube right now, or if you're going to subscribe to our YouTube later, make sure you tap the notification bell. Then you get updates whenever we go live. So even when we're on a weird schedule, you know when it's happening. And you know things like when Why Are You Laughing goes live tomorrow at 8 a.m. I'm sorry, Wednesday at 8 p.m. I got none of that right. Wednesday at 8 p.m. The next Why Are You Laughing is A Beginner's Guide, the history of Opie and Anthony. So any of you O&A fans that might find that interesting, or it's a little more geared towards, like O&A fans might find it a fun walk down memory lane, but it's a little more geared towards people that know very little about Opie and Anthony. So it's a
that would
dive
be me.
into their history.
I should watch that because I just know a little. Yeah, I should know more.
Yeah, check it out. So check that out Wednesday at 8. And all our links are at blindmike.net. You can subscribe wherever you get podcasts for free. If you're a member, you're about to get links to me and Carl doing a bonus episode, Julia Fox's book, Down the Drain. It gets even more bizarre if you've been keeping up on that series. So make sure you watch that tonight when we post it. And that's it for me. Also go to HackRideTheDemon.com. Unboxing Eric is there.
Yeah, we got a few things here. Below Me gave 5 gifted Blind Mike memberships.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Below Me. And
Well, much
Electra, are you there?
appreciated.
Are you there, Electra? I see your head. All right. Can you read these last 2 super chats?
Where do you go? Okay, I appreciate that.
Sacrifices for team.
Hell yeah.
All right, one more here and we'll get out.
Grace us again tomorrow.
Oh my God. Hold on, Blind Mike. I didn't add you to the scene. Can you read this last one again for me?
Again?
Yes, read it.
No, it's fine. Thank you. Thank you, Hacko.
I fucked up the last second. God damn it. All right.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Go to follow DJ Electra's YouTube. Like I said, I think she's doing a good job there. Go check out her videos and get her up to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, for God's sake. And check out HackRide the Demon. HackRideTheDemon.com is where Casey Day and his boss get up to all of their hijinks and shenanigans. I don't know. Anything else that I'm missing?
No, that's all, Mike. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right. Go check out Craig also, verygoodshow.org. And we'll get out of here. See you guys. Thank you.
Blind Mike Geary! I talk like this. It's silly. This is my punchline. It's a voice.